So YouTube, just a quick intro. I'm reviewing my second place in the 530 PKO for $48,000. Quite a few hands I'm going to get through. So yeah, this entire tournament hand history, if you can't be bothered listening to this recording, is on my CheckDecide profile. Just click the link down below and watch it for free. I also have various hands and tournaments uploaded on top of that. Alright, so moving on to this. I could open this because both... Wait, where's the button here? Wait, why isn't the button? This is the button. So yeah, hijack and button are both short with sizable bounties here. So I should probably be opening every like suited king and yeah, most of my suited aces here. A big blind 800. Nice. So just usually range betting this spot, but I don't mind checking like my worst king here since we're deep as well. So checking seems fine in this spot. Do go for the small range bet, which is funny because like you're mixing small and big here on this board, given that we have a range advantage. But you know, also you got to keep in mind that he could be viewing my range as wider for the exact reason I'm opening with these two shorter stacks for the bounties. So maybe smaller betting makes more sense there, given that I don't have a tight range anymore. It's going to be a little bit wider. Check, check, turn, and then like I just face this river spot where I fold because I'm not really sure. Yeah, that's why I don't like my flop bet because it's like my worst king. I mean, not holding any jack or 10 is actually nice. Could make for a better call, honestly. But I just folded to the big bet. Didn't think, yeah, I mean, he needs to be bluffing a bunch of flush draws, of course, which he still has quite a bit of. Don't think he's bluffing any queen X here. But yeah, I don't like my flop bet too much. There's going to be a lot of like not so sure hands that I obviously won't be running sims for right now because that's going to take way too much time. Gotta try and move this mic further away because hang on, let me also add my view account. I think it's good to show it. Browser, add existing. Oh, we got some viewers in here, damn. Went up. Got a better idea for it. Right there. Good hand to open. Go for the full 3x here. And I don't know why. It's possible that I just 3x'd because I have a preset to my stars caption, which is like a lot of 3xing, sometimes pre-flop, based on stack size, I think so. And I could have just been multi-tabling, I just quickly, you know, click the button. But there's no need to go 3x here, not that it's bad. I mean, you could just fucking, like, if you're really deep with big blind, who's just a whale and is always defending, you could 3x like all your good hands, all the hands that have decent equity. Go for the check here. I don't like betting the low board too much versus big blind. I don't love calling a check raise with no backdoor diamonds. I just have a gutter here. It's a good hand to check because like the 6x is a great, the 6 on the turn is a great bluffing card. Also like 7s and 8s are good cards for big blind to bluff, so it's good to have this in my range as a check. And he doesn't bet the turn. He's doing a lot of small leading here, which tells me that he has some kind of showdown value. Whether it be like a lot of ace highs or maybe some king queen that checks here as well. They'll make a fine check. So he's going to have a lot of ace highs, some 3 and 4x. So I think we have a pretty safe bet now. The question is like, what do we want our sizing to be? Are we going for a big size here or mainly small sizes? So maybe I could big size some like backdoor spades that I check, like queen, jack, jack, 10 of spades. But a lot of his flush draws are barreling turns, unless he has like ace X of hearts or spades, which doesn't need to bet. Like small betting would make sense here as well. I check again, I don't like this. I mean, we're going to come across a lot of mistakes. A small bet makes sense here, the most. I guess in real time I was like, oh, what if he's trapping me here, blah, blah, blah. Like, I can't really get two streets with this hand, can I? I don't want to get check raised. But yeah, it should be a small bet though. Check, check. Go to value bet now. I mean, may as well go big size, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is, like, he will have a lot of 3x. He'll have an equal amount of 3x as he does 4x in this spot. But yeah, go for the big size, get the fold. But I should small bet turn. $2.2. Get a call against the blinds. Get the queen 6-8 rainbow. We're 20 effective with the small blinds. Post flop. Yeah, I think betting and checking are both fine in this spot. I mean, I could even leave a note on this though. B pips too much because I remember this hand. Can I move the note over here? It's just going to stick there. Whatever. So yeah, small betting and checking is fine here. Probably better to bet a little bit more than check, since we can still get value from quite a bit of big blinds, 8x and 6x, and he's like wraps all these draws here. Also, I still have an overcard to a queen, so like I wouldn't ever want to bet with like 8, 9, 10, 8 suited here. Ace 8 seems like a fine bet. I'd much rather like check 7, 8 suited and stuff. I do check this, but I prefer the bet a little bit more, although it's really tough to find out what's better though. So I call the turn bet here. The 5 is kind of irrelevant. He does complete like 6-5 suited, so like some two pairs now. But like 6-5 suited is the only two pair he has. He's not calling 8-6, queen 6, queen 8 suited in the small blind. So yeah, call the turn. River bricks. He shoves for pot here with the bounty and getting 3-1. So like I think a lot of people level themselves in this spot, and maybe it's fun as well because people might be under bluffing when there's a bounty on the line as well. But you gotta still come across bluffs here. So with the bounty, I still called here. I feel like he still has like 10-9 suited, Jack 10, King 10 could be a good bluff, King 7 suited. It doesn't have 9 suited Jack, so shoving pre, so yeah, I just call. Has a Jack 10 offsuit, which is a loose call in the small blind. Offsuit there. But I think the mistake in that hand was betting flop. And what are we? We're very deep here. This is like very rarely a raise. It's going to be a like near pure limp call. Call the 4x. And on this medium, like this spot is pretty good for small blind. Although I don't think I can have many leads with this combo. I think Jack 8, Jack of Hearts could be okay to lead. But got to keep in mind this is a pretty good board for us, and we could even do some check raising here. In fact, I think check raising is better than check calling because we don't have great equity with the check call here. Check, check. On the flush completer, we have more flushes, so we can do some big betting here. But I think like betting small and big betting river is also fine. And this is a terrible check. Even without a heart, like we got a gutter here. We could just get into like fold, ace 10, no hearts. This is a very bad check. But like in real time, I just like, you got so much going on, you just think, no, it's fine. He's never going to fold. And then like now we're just in a dumb spot. We have to check fold for a small size. Yeah, I like to check raise on the flop the most, and I like betting river there after it goes check, check. Another poorly played hand. Can open this on the button. Go for the 2.5x since we're quite deeper. Easy call. Check folding flop. Kings, we're gonna go like 8,000 here, 8,800, 4x is fine. Take it down. I know this might sound dumb, but how exactly do we know we have more flushes blind versus blind? So we have more flushes because we limp call a lot of suited stuff. Like we limp call 5 6. We also mix some raises with like 5 6 suited and that, but we have a limp raising range. Um, so yeah, I was gonna say we our limp raise bluffs will actually be quite suited heavy, but we'll also have a lot of limp calls that are suited because big blind isn't going to like always ISO a hand like 9 5 suited or Jack 10 or Jack 10 suited like pure ISOs. But like those like 9 5 suited, 9 6 suited aren't always raising from big blind. They're doing a lot of checking back, so like they're mixing raises, whereas small blind's pure calling them or like calling them more than they're raising them. So we're gonna have more flushes in that spot. Yes, big blind's gonna have more than nut flushes like Ace X of Hearts, like King X of Hearts, but we're going to have more flushes as an overall part of our range. So it just mainly comes down to big blind not raising every suited hand, whereas small blind's basically limp calling every suited hand. I like this as a 4-better fold. You can maybe peel Ace 9-0 cutoff button, but 4-better fold for me here. Makes sense. I like your channel all the time and look up to you. Thank you for the explanation. Much love and respect to you, Mr. Pav. Thank you, mate. Check and bet is fine. Don't need to always barrel like the king, queen, king, jack here. But, autopilot pave. Defend, check, fold, check. He can check twice with the king sometimes, but I think we have to value bet now. And try and get called by ace high. I think you can also do some big betting. Maybe there's no big betting with the worst 9. Just do a lot of small betting here. But don't you think like a lot of small betting just like always gets called by ace high, so maybe we should do more medium betting? Yeah, it's a bad check. Just autopilot mode. The next update that CheckDecide should do is filter the hands better. Just all the hands I VPIP'd and not the hands that, I was a part of the blinds, even, yeah. Queen 9, a lot of small betting here on ace high. Nice, and just gonna give up. I turn a gutter, but yeah, we're just giving up here. My bluffs might be some spades, but I'm not barreling with like, maybe. It's just so hovering to fold this turn. I guess the spades I want to bluff are going to be like 10-9 and Jack 10 of spades. Cards that, like a hand that shares the most cards with his ace-x. Like he's going to be 3-betting a lot of his big ace-x pre-flop, right? So like he will be flatting some like ace-9, ace-10. Also like unblocking king highs and queen highs from floating. Like he might float queen-jack suited here, right? On the flop, So like 10-9. And Jack 10 might be my best hands to use. Queen 8 suited. I think this is also like, I think this is a good call. That's a winning call. Might be like Queen 9 suited. Like, actually, it might be Queen 9 and Jack 8 suited. Queen 8 suited could be losing. That's really close one. But if big blind's like not good, then like it's totally fine. What up, Pat Moore? No worries, mate. Hope you guys are enjoying it. What up, Canada? Fold. Can complete 6-5 suited there. Big blind was really bad and had a big bounty and he was short. I would jump in. Can 3-bet this one for sure. Actually, can 3-bet this around 30 or 40% of the time. Hijack MP this deep. Facing a check here. It's a board that MP should be checking quite a bit against hijack because I got a way tighter range than him. My floating range was pretty strong here. I'm gonna have a lot of better ace X than him as well. Actually, debatable because like he's gonna have more of like the low suited aces, which I'm mixing three bets with, but I don't have any like I have got very little ace jack plus. But yeah, seems like a fine hand to bet sometimes with. Do you not make it based on your opponents? You can always debate three betting a hand that you usually mix based on like your opponent. If you like, if your opponent overfolds, then three bet more. But you know, like you can also flat the king queen if you have a fish in a big blind or like fish behind you. But usually, like, I mean, like at least in these stakes, you're not gonna see like too many people overfolding. So I just like stick to the RNG. I can't believe we get this for free. Isn't it crazy? Get to also watch all my other tournaments on CheckDecide for free. Can do big betting here on the sweat board. 8-9 is a hand that I don't want to do too much big betting with. So I don't mind even checking this one or small betting. Both are fine. Nice. Face the big bet. Call. Cycle. And he's called pre-flop with ace king offsuit. How deep are we? We're starting 22 deep. Yeah, like you should just get this in. There's not really any flooding with ace king that shallow. Maybe a tiny bit. But kind of lame facing a big bet. But yeah, just gotta pay it off. Complete with most suited stuff. Fold to the bet. Three bet off or call here, never folding it. 60 deep, mainly calling. I don't want to three bet suited hands that have good flop ability because getting jammed off my equity is annoying. Easy float here for the half pot size. He checks. It's a spot where we're also beating some of his hands, but like the problem is all of his bluffs at c-bet are usually barreling turn, like queen 10, king 9, queen 10 suited. I mean, there's not many. He does turn ahead, like he has 10-9 suited now, queen 9 suited that is checking that I can get him to fold. So I'm not sure how much betting I'm doing here, but I don't think it'll be bad either to like big bet here. Can also check turn, bet river, make him fold on 9, but I think I'd prefer just a bet turn and river here instead of going for a check back. I go for the medium bet because I'm just trying to make him fold on 9 here. I don't know how much jack XCC bets in this spot. Had kings. Would you call a brick deuce on a 9 king board? I mean, yeah, like nothing changes, doesn't it? Like me having a boat doesn't change. I guess you could value jam ace 9 on a brick river, but yeah, it's unlikely. So multi-way on the monotone with the ace of clubs. Seems like an easy small bet here. We do want to be careful though because, you know, the monotone boards are great for the blinds. They're very suited heavy. So going either way with this one. I think small betting is just the play though. Do I want to bet more with this combo multi-way or heads up? Probably more heads up, but... Yeah, got a pill, brick the turn, face a big bet. And facing the big bet, I think we just fold here because he could also just have a flush already, so we have less outs. The implied odds are really average for us here, so a 10 might not even be good. Just got to be careful with the flop c-bet here. I'm not sure how much c-betting I'm doing in this spot. It could be better to check ace-9 specifically and like bet ace-king. Because, you know, like blocking the check raising range is not ideal though. But that could be an error for sure. And just small betting a bunch here. Checking, I mean, 30 deep, it's like we don't really mind getting stacked as much 30 deep, but we do have our worst ace, so like checking seems fine here. And how do I want to play the ace on the turn? A lot of small betting, I imagine, because I can do a lot of small betting with just like my king highs. Take it down. Do you never get it in on the monotone flop with the bounty? The reason I didn't there is because I just think he's so suited heavy. Has a bunch of flushes, and I mean, getting it in could be fine there. I just don't think. Yeah, I'm not sure what the best play is there. There's just not many hands he stacks off with that aren't already crushing me. You know, like even his top pairs, he doesn't even have too many top pairs that are check raising there. Given that he flattened the small blind, he doesn't want to check raise queen jack there. It's just a bad flop bet. Hang on, this number got big. Uh, 33 deep. I don't know if overcalling king nine suited is making money here. Also got a short in the small blind we have to worry about reopening up the action. It might be making money because I'm never folding king 10 suited. I do call, and now it's getting awkward. Call the c-bet and a call. Don't need to bet this turn. I mean, I do get like value from hijacks. A lot of his pocket pairs here, so I could do a lot of small betting. Yeah, honestly, probably the play. Like, no one's gonna check raise bluff me here. Could just small bet. And I have like deuces and threes and fives and ace four suited. And I got better king x to continue, so I can just small bet this turn. With like, as from like an exploit standpoint, right? Like, I don't mind just bet folding this turn because people under check raise bluff it, and I can still get value from pocket pairs. So I'm mainly targeting the hijack here. But I'm trying to think if there's so many bluffs for under the gun here. Like the opener, how many bluffs does he have for a bet check bet line if it bricks the river? I do check it, I get a safe river. He bets tiny and a call. I mean, look, value raising, I guess. I could do this with like queen jack suited. I should probably just value raise this one, but I'm just like so scared of value owning myself. I'm pretty sure I just call in this spot. I guess like king 10-0 could also take this line. Oh, he had jacks. Oh, wait, I gotta stop fast forwarding a hand like that. I keep forgetting that it does that. I didn't see what the flatter had. Gonna fast forward it through it. Tens. Yep. So like, and by checking turn, we only get like a tiny straight on the river. He bets like 10% pot. So I should just like small bet that turn. I don't want to squeeze for 30 there. I don't think that's a good... I thought about it for a second. Could be an okay squeezing hand, but... Yeah, I'm not sure. I'd prefer something like... Yeah, King 9 suited could be good, you know? King 9 suited and like maybe Ace 10-0 could be a good squeeze fold. Problem is I got a bounty on me and we're like shallower, so like it just doesn't work as much. We're just going to call this shove because we do have call folds here, obviously. Goes three ways on the jack 3. Just want to check. He's going to fold so much junk here. He also still has a bunch of jack X. I'm not looking to put money in the middle here. When it goes check, we can start putting money in. Sizings small just seems fine with how wide his range is still. I go for the big size. So I guess my reasoning for the big size here is that he continues with every suited combo on the button in position for this bounty, and you know still has like a lot of the 8-9 7-8-0. So I guess that's why I went the big size. And yeah, I guess my main concern is like how much jack X is he checking flop with? Do I really want to start dumping money in the middle here this deep? So yeah, it's just like Operation Target an 8 there. But you know the play, yeah. I mean, I have to bet the turn though because he's not going to bluff like flush draws on that turn because I'm just check calling so much. And he shoves for 12 here. The starting stack is what in these tournaments? So 25k. So his bounty's worth like 12.5, which is like just under 10 big. So we're gonna like raise call this with the bounty for sure. Call. Never three about that. I shouldn't put money in the middle here because you know the opener still has better pocket pairs. He still checks a lot of king x on this board, so easy check. On the turn, don't need to put money in. Still going to be some flush. Actually, I guess small blind's betting all of his flushes now. I've got some flushes. Betting wouldn't be awful here, I don't think. Wouldn't be awful. I just see small blind betting a lot of his draws now, so I think he's got showdown with like a lot of 9x. So checking seems fine. Not going to value bet. Yeah, I don't like this check from small blind because like the opener still doesn't love betting a king on the turn. Checking ace-9 would make sense, but like ace-6 suited, still get value from a 9, a king, ace-queen, queen of spades, bunch of king-x. Completely unrelated question. When a site offers you a deposit bonus, is it always worth to add more money on to unlock the bonus if you're going to play anyways? Yes, I would say so. If you're going to play anyways, it makes sense to deposit, unless of course you have to pay fees for depositing. In which case, like, it might not make sense, but yeah, usually, even with fees, usually it's making you money. But then again, you have to like take into account withdrawal fees. Like, what if the withdrawal fees on is appealing? Defense, no 3-betting with the 8-7-0. We can check call a small size. I can fold the big size here. I don't have a spade. It's kind of annoying the spot. I think without a spade we just fold here. Continue like a second pair with no spade. Nice, Pev. Nice. Bam, bam. I don't want to make sure I miss any like bounty spots here, you know? Cutoff hijack, MP, 3s. Yep, happy with this fold. I open like 5s here, maybe 4s. I can open every pair if there's like small stacks for bounties. You feel? Check fold. Got the fights on the side here, nice setup. So we folded 4s in MP. We've got one position over with the 5s now. We'll open this up. 4s can still be a pill. Come along here. Oh, I folded. He's got 38 bigs. I think he's still deep enough for us to continue on the spot. But maybe I had no read on this guy. Maybe just sat down. Maybe he was really tight and I didn't want to just play a little bit shallower with 5s here versus tight players. Fold. 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 Should I get some music in the background here? Hang on, let me YouTube non-copyright piano. I turned OBS up recently, so it might be really loud for you guys. Also might put you to sleep. Hopefully not. Cramping, dude. But I like sitting on my legs crossed now. It's probably a bad habit. He shoved 17, fold the queen jack. Open. I like checking back here deep on the paired fives. This big blind. These are really bad boards to bet. And can start doing some big betting on this turn for sure. Go for the small size, but I think a big size makes more sense. I guess like I'm thinking that I'm just going to be barreling a lot of my draws on a flop like Jack 10, 6, 7 suited, 7, 8 suited, so it makes sense to go for a small size instead, since I'm more value heavy. Well, I guess if you're more value heavy, it makes more sense to go for the big size. Which means like, yeah, where are my bluffs coming from then if I'm just deceiving all those hands? Like Jack 10 of diamonds, I guess. There's like a no equity on the flop, not much at least. A lot of 10-8-0. Call, check, call. Check, fold, bad turn. Don't have any spades to go with it. I may have VPip there blind was fine. I mean, I'm usually not. If I just skip it like 9-4, I'm not even going to bother VPipping unless it's like a really bad play on a big blind. Just trying to save time here. Open off 36 bigs here. Fold to the squeeze. Open, defend, the small betting here. Quarter is even fine. Go for the third. I need to bet this turn. I'm pretty sure in real time I checked here, but this is a good card to bet. I understand like I don't block any of his straights I get there now, but I still have a bunch of good queen X. I still have I think I have all the straights here. Jack 10-0 is not, I guess, not opening pure in this spot. But yeah, I just check, which is bad. Like he's still gonna have so much 9x at side folds, so he's gonna have like 10-8 that doesn't bluff us on a river. But yeah, I guess in real time I just don't want to get check raised here. And I guess I still have some king X I can bet check bet. Yeah, it's just another bad line from me. I'm always losing here, always. He had 8-9 of hearts. I should just bet the turn and sometimes fire river. Folding deuces here for sure. Bigger bounty, but still not worth it for my whole stack there. What hand do we want? Does it show? 56, okay. We're getting there. Good hand to... I could squeeze shove this hand, depending on the player's flatting. If he's calling too much, this could be a fine shove, but I'm almost never shoving it heads up, like if this guy folded. Good calling hand at the very least. No need to barrel this one. Got a bit of showdown value. Could do some small betting here for sure. I still have some flushes, so I protect myself there. I think small betting is fine here. I guess they are pot controlling some ace-x, but at least small betting the turn. I control the size of the pot. I don't get led into on the river too often, so I avoid big river bets. I think I should small bet that turn. And he just pots the river, and I just hate life here. Don't know how many people pot this spot as a bluff, so I'm just like usually always folding this one in game. Yeah, I think it's pretty underbluffed here for a pot size bet. He also may play... I mean, he really shouldn't play his flushes like this because I just really bet this turn. So yeah, that's a weird one. Down to 25 bigs, raise call standard. Get lucky. Simon is a bit crazy to be honest. I mean, yeah, let's not talk about one specific player. Let's talk about in general though. I don't like saying like X is a bit crazy, like unless it's actual hand history. I don't like to go like the opinions of other people. So anyway, I got a good three betting hand here. Offsuit aces are good three bets. The shallower you get, so like 40ish versus cutoff seems like a good spot to three bet the ace 5-0. I'm three betting at like 20% of the time. We face a 2.5x here. I'm just going to look to three bet stack the kings, the tens here. I could also just three bet shoving is fine. But I think I prefer the three bet call a little bit more. I got a big bounty me though, so shoving might be better. Either way, like shoving 30 I would do, so 34 is not a huge difference. Shoving is fine. Do shove. Oh, I think I remember this hand. It's like a really loose overcall here. And then it's totally standard. I mean, it's close because... Yeah, I don't just jam like ace 9, ace 10 here, you know. I guess I have a lot of like pairs that he's gonna have good equity against. I don't know if I want to jam like king 10 suited here too often, you know. I will have some percentage of that. I get lucky and scoop everything. Don't worry about the side pot, I get everything here. Fucking 10 and fade the club, so that's how you win tournaments right there. Get it through the 10-9. Oh, a bit looser than hijack, I think it was. What the fuck was that pot bet? I guess he's safe to bet like ace jack for pot there, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe you can do some potting there. A little bit weird though, it seems. So I small bet the 6-5-3 rainbow deep. I don't think small betting is... He has so many hands to continue on this board. I mean, I guess I can mix small and large, trying to keep a medium betting here. But I don't mind putting this hand in the big bet size. Just to put him in a dumb spot. Like if he has like ace jack O, facing a big size here is like kind of like a side fold spot. Anyway, I hit one of the best cards in the deck. He has very little jack X. Like jacks and queens are great barrel cards. Tens are great barrel cards. So I should big bet this turn. I do big bet it. I get cold. And we face a pretty terrible river where I'm just doing a lot of folding now. This is non-copyrighted, this music. How good is it? Any Twitch streamers out there want to use it, I'll link it in chat. Raise calling for 10, going for the $800 bounty. No luck. Dude, I think I remember this. I'm pretty sure my next hand... Oh wait, no it's not. I'm thinking of something else, don't worry. If I get King 9 suited next hand though... I do not. Don't like to... Yeah, we're gonna squeeze rip here. It's closer because I am deep with under the gun, so I guess I could... For 20 bigs, I'm not sure if I can play any call folds versus under the gun there. Call folds. Yeah, I think 9's is a fine call fold hand versus an under the gun range because it's a small bounty as well. I play the jam. I think calling is better. Maybe I fold out 10s here sometimes. If you check the full river, would you bluff? No, I wouldn't bluff. I have like no 7x. Doesn't make sense for me to bluff there. raise, 3-bet, and ace king O, like, versus some random players, I don't mind just folding here. You got like a tight range under the gun, then you have MP 3-betting under the gun, ace king O. Like, I don't mind just folding this one and shoving it, and I don't mind 4-betting it. Go for the 4-bet. I mean, like, I don't think I should be 4-bet folding this first, a 3-better though, so. I mean, yeah, it just makes, yeah, I don't know if I like having shoves in a spot, so the 4-bet size makes sense. I could go smaller here. I should go like 40-ish. Tub 1 TV with a 12 months. 1 year, mate. Thank you so much. Welcome back. Get the shove, and I fold it. Yeah, I might need to run that one, because you got the bounty as well. I'm not sure I'm a fan of 4-bet folding off 70 here. If I'm like 100 deep, sure. But I should 4-bet smaller and maybe still call this one. So I'm going to save this hand and look at it later. I probably prefer the fold pre-flop the most. I'm just going to put it in a Ren DM here. Go to it later. You don't cover him? Regardless, even if I did cover him, yeah. Like, he has 875 bounty, which is worth, like, the starting stack is 25,000, so it's worth like 50. It's worth like 14 big blinds or something. So, yeah, I could. Yeah, I honestly prefer just folding that one with like. I mean, it's that's the guy who potted, right? Yeah, Simon, he potted on when I had the ace-8 earlier. Yeah, I don't think anyone's like someone's 5-betting range is going to be like ace king and jacks pass, maybe folding some jacks. So ace-8 suited I like as a squeeze and a call, mainly a call though. Fold versus the big size here. Not completing 3 deuce O. Not squeezing, or not 4-betting that one. Jacks for 30. We have an easy 3-bet to like 2.6x roughly. Well, this is atrocious. Well, it's not really atrocious. I'm shoving 30 blinds with a big bounty in my head. With a vulnerable pair, you know, like he can still peel king queen and have good equity versus me. So yeah, you can mix. I don't know if jacks, actually no, jacks is mixing some shoves here for 30, but it's mainly 10s that are doing more shoving. I prefer to 3-bet this one even with a bounty in my head. So I'll take it back. Not atrocious, just not good. Can fold this. Completing heads up, folding multi-way. Complete 10-8 offsuit multi-way there, I think. For 15, easy fold. Gonna call this and shove it sometimes, mainly call it. The 9-5 deuce rainbow, very dry. Oh, it's 2 suits, sorry. Very dry board still. I have a tiny bit of jacks in the small blinds. Tiny bit of 9s. I have all the 5s and deuces here, which he doesn't. So I don't mind check raising this hand. It plays really good as a check call as well, but if I check raise, I can get like immediate folds from some king jack and king queen with no backdoors. So I don't mind the check raise as well, but like off this stack depth, I'm doing so much calling with 5s and deuces, so my check raises for value, apart from bottom set and middle set, will be some 9x, 10-9 suited, ace-9 suited, etc. So either way here is fine. The size is pretty big. I could go a little bit smaller. But yeah, I think that was my reasoning in real time as well. That I can find out better king actual to raise here. The problem with check raising here is like we're quite shallow, so like he's just stacking off more. He's like bet stacking off more in these spots. But I'm not sure if I like continuing with the offsuit 8-7. Like, do I prefer to check raise his hand more than I do 7-8 suited? Probably not, because I'm going to have less barrel equity in the turn. So I guess calling is just fine here. Yeah, I don't like using this as a check raise. The turn's an absolute brick. Rainbow as well. I continue barreling it. I guess what's good about the brick turn is that he folds like a lot of suited broadways now that don't pick up any more equity. That's why I small bet the turn. That would have been my reasoning. Also, like, I turn an extra 4 outs there, which is neat. I guess I was playing to follow through on that one. Love the shirt. Also enjoyed the podcast earlier, by the way. Thank you, Steve. I'm glad. And easy ISO ripple. Winning the important ones, eh? When I'm not 4-bet folding ace king, I'm winning the important ones. A bit of 3-betting here pre-flop, mainly calling. Yeah, I don't have any evil plans to start just betting 3 times, so. Could maybe get value from 5s through 8s. Too thin though, just checking. Has 6s. Better big blind there. He'll fuck you about. I like using this as a 3-bet. It's a pretty heavy 3-bet here actually. Cut off hijack, ace 9 offsuit this deep. I think it's good 3-bet. Maybe I'm ace 9 offsuit is like on the button cut off. Maybe I'm folding at cut off hijack. And it's better to use like some suited aces there. But I like it as a 3-bet. Could be a bad 3-bet though. I will not be opening this. Yes, I have a bigger stack now, but I'm not going to raise call any of these other blokes. I don't want to call this with so many players behind. You better fold it. Good bitch. Yep. Only going to open that based on like shorties. No shorties. Going to fold it. Should just fast forward that one as well. Defending and I like big bets here and checks. I don't like too many small or medium. This is a good hand. I'm trying to think of if I prefer betting more with ace 10 or ace jack. I probably prefer betting more with ace 10. I can turn more routes. So I think I prefer checking this hand. Yeah. I can bet more ace queen, ace king, check ace jack because I can just turn more equity that he barrels into. Nice. And don't need to put money in the middle here. And don't mind hero calling here. The problem with calling, the one problem with calling is that he barrels a lot of his draws in a turn. So the good thing is that he has little 10x that is like not already barreling turns. So the hands he's repping right now is like he can value bet a 4 here, he can value bet a 3, 5, 6s, 7s. But he has little 10x. 10-8 a tiny bit of checking, but mainly betting. So yeah, he's value betting 3, a 4, an 8, but he's not value betting a 9 or a 10 here. So his bluffs will have to come from hands that don't like betting turn because they have no equity, but like betting river. And what hands do they look like? Well, obviously it doesn't contain any 6 or 5x because they have draws to barrel turn, usually. So it's going to be something like king 7, king 6, king 5, no spade. The same with like queen 7, queen 6, queen 5. And yeah, it doesn't have a heap of, yeah, that's about it. So I don't mind calling this one. Don't mind it. He might do some checking with Jack 7 on the turn, but usually barreling it. So yeah, we're just hoping to bluff catch against like King High, Queen High here. I don't mind raising this card, man. I really don't mind raising this card. He should have fuck all flushes because we're just rarely barreling this turn. So like, I can raise this card and I'd only be repping like Ace 10. I don't think I'm checking the turn ever with like 9. So it's like really tough to raise this card. But I just know how capped he is, you know? So I could sometimes bomb this spot. I guess theoretically I should have a small amount of flushes, like maybe 8x of spades on the turn. But I wanna station this one off. I mean, obviously we're gonna be wrong a lot of the time here, but we only need to be right so few times to be printing here. And this is a good combo, a really good combo to check, you know. A hand that you have a lock with. I don't have a heap of hand to contain a spade as well that aren't barreling flop. So yeah, he played this well. His size is good because I have very little 10x. He played that very well. I'm curious to know how much I'm betting the flop with this hand. Alright, be right back, taking a piss. Don't like 3-betting this combo, just going to defend it. Check call for a small bet. And pretty awful turn card. Not holding any jacks or queens here. I don't mind just check folding this turn. He checks. Yeah, pretty tough to get value. He doesn't have any flushes. They're usually barreling turn, unless he has 10x of diamonds, of course. That's the only flush he has. It's hard to get called by too many hands here, but I saw like a small size. He'll have a tiny bit of ace-x, but yeah, small size is good here. He should be barreling all of his king, queen, king, jack on the turn still. Go for the small size and get the fold. He doesn't want to barrel the turn at all though. Just has no equity. He just completely gives up. You could sell this review to someone like Jonathan Little or something. Add in the Sims at the end. I mean, that's what training videos are, right? Like some of the Playing Explains on Upswing is like Freed models. Like he'll be grinding a Zoom session and then he'll just save the important spots, run it later, they cut it up, and then you get the result at the end of the video. Melissa with the 9 months. Hey, mate, congrats on a 30k score. That's sick. Very happy for you. Keep it up. But slow down on the fucking $800 shirts. That's just ridiculous. Appreciate it, mate. Fold. But yeah, what we're going to do with CheckDecide as well, right, is we're going to implement training videos in this thing as well. So like, for example, there could be a really close ICM spot on the final table, and like you'll be obviously given the spot to like switch it in active view, sorry, and play the hand. And then like if you make an error, like a video could pop up with me saying like, all right, I ran the spot, this is why you do this, blah, blah, blah. 3-bet, 2.6x, good shit, mate, good shit. Small C betting, excellent pav, just too good. Lamau, she loves it. Shove Simon, shove Simon. Poggers. How do we play top set here, chat? Well, I think check, because we kind of block the calling range, and a 5 deuce is bricky as fuck. Yeah, we don't bluff too much into 3 ranges, so check top set seems fine. Facing a small bet and a call, don't need to check raise. Obviously, not a hand I want to check raise. Would I want to check raise some hands? What would they consist of? I think like maybe king queen suited is a cool hand. I mean, king queen offsuit is probably a better hand to check raise, just block more suited hands from continuing. But at the same time, do I want to block more suited hands from continuing, or have more equity to barrel the turn with? Maybe more equity. So king queen suited is a pretty good check raise here. Just check call the jacks though, and hijack's still gonna have like a bunch of pocket pairs. A lot of suited Jack X from button as well still, which don't like barreling turn. They're gonna do a lot of checking, so I expect the turn to check around a lot, but at the same time I can't really play turn leads here. And we're in a bit of an odd spot, right? Because I want the bounty from button, but how often is he paying me off? Like my line is a check call, check check jam. Like I guess theoretically my bluffs will come from some ace X suited, you know, like ace 4, ace 3 that I might want to play a check call with. So having an ace is good. Maybe I should be playing check calls to king queen suited as opposed to check raising it. But I think in real time I checked this hand and my reasoning was I think button value bets every jack that he continues with post flop, and I also think he checks the turn with like obviously a lot of his like he's not going to barrel the turn with like you know queen 10 suited. Like all of his floats on a flop with some backdoors doesn't like betting that turn, so I think those might still be bluffing river. So that's a good reason for me checking, even though like I'm getting no value. Value's done from hijack. It's all about the button right now. And you just got to determine whether or not he's going to pay me off with a jack or if he's going to be bluffing a good amount here or still value betting a jack himself. So I check. Oh, faced a big size. A really confusing big size from hijack. Surprised to see this. Maybe he river to boat. Sorry, river to set. Easy shove. Get the fold. So he himself could also have like queen 10 suited that just wants to like, you know, a backdoor that has no equity in that turn. What combos you see betting for in that board? Not many. Not many. A lot of my good Jack X, a lot of my good backdoors, like Ace 4, my suited wheel aces, and my best Jack X, and checking a bunch of my range. And check raise. I like a big size as well since we're quite deep. But I'll probably just go like 3.5x as usual. But it might be better to go like 4x or something. We still get stacks in somewhat comfortably. I mean, not really. I have to like overbet this turn. Go like 130 here or something. I pot it. Yeah, I have to go for like a pot overbet now. I tell you what, chat, if you see me pot this turn in this spot, I am always shoving river. That's one thing I know. When I'm committing to a polar spot, I'm fucking committing. I should probably just pot this as well. Might get cold more when I leave my bounty behind. You might just think I'm like airballing more. I don't know why I didn't skip that one. Important spots here. Doing quite a bit of checking on the board. It's funny because I have an equal amount of straights. I should open most of my queen 10 here. So yeah. I have the same amount of straights, the same amount of 2 pairs as button. Yeah, we have the same amount of like nutted hands on this board. I actually have more sets than him. He 3-bets jacks and 9s quite a bit. I mean, jacks are probably 3-betting more, but 9s are mixing. So, yeah, I like this as a C-bet, blocking the straights, got some backdoors here. My sizing on this board will be medium and big. I don't think there's much small betting in this spot, so like a medium to big size. Bad check. I guess in real time I just don't want to bloat the pot. I have a hand that plays fine as a check call, but overall I think it's a better C-bet. Check raise might not be awful as well. And where am I? And it kind of like ruins how I play turns when I check the flop with this hand. Because I'm just doing a lot of turn checking here, by the way. He's going to check some 10x still, like 10-8, 10-9 suited. Ace-10 might check. But it's weird as well, right? Because like when he checks back, he's not going to be betting this. So like his bluffs on the turn here will come from just like no equity that doesn't want to barrel the flop. So he's going to have no 10s here, right? So you could argue like he's not like, sorry, he will have some 10s here that barrel the turn, of course, 10-8 and 10-9 suited, but He will also have... How much queen X is he having here? Like king... So I'm missing value from like ace, queen, king, queen. Overall, which are finding value bets on the turn or the river. So yeah, there should be a turn in general. It's gonna be a better card for the button. Yeah, I don't like it. Poorly played hand. See about flop or just check the turn. Because again, he still has like no equity hands. Like he still has like ace five of hearts here, right? That's just given up. That might pay off on the river. So yeah, poorly played hands. Terrible, actually. I've got more queen 10 offsuit. I guess I have queen 10 offsuit. He's not flatting offsuit. So yeah, I've got even more straights. Which is what I was saying. Small c-bet. I turned that big blind can do some leading on, but I'm just giving up here. Facing a big lead, I remember this one in real time as well. I was like, no motherfucker bluffs here. He's not gonna bluff like enough like jack ten of clubs here. But I just played it with like a fucking donkey. But usually when you see just like big leads on this river, like it's just usually always a flush and like, yeah, he could also free roll here and big bet an ace and make me fold an ace for the chop. Also, no, that's not true because I'm gonna bluff this river a lot as well. So he should check here because I'm also value betting it quite a bit. But yeah, bad payoff here, I think. I think population don't bluff enough there. Not gonna check raise. I need to bloat the pot with second pair. Check, check. Tough to get value on this river. I mean, I got some spades and hearts in my range, but some of my backdoor spade combos are playing raises on the flop that aren't already beating him now, so yeah. Just check again. Fours. Thank you, David. I hope I win this tournament. I have one of those things that I never use it though because it makes me sneeze. The problem is, yeah, but if I fold the ace there, it's just like I'm fucking forfeiting the pot every time I check that turn. I guess I call ace king and ace queen, like, it doesn't seem like enough, but yeah, I think people just always have a flusher. Fuck them. This is a board I should be leading, actually. I love a lead here. So with the 10 of clubs, it's some nice backdoor equity for me. I also block more continues, like jack 10 of clubs from the opener. And I got a lot of straights and two pairs here, so I like a small lead on this board. And, oh, I think I remember this one in real time. I forgot the bet to turn. I was like, wow, it's a terrible turn check. Oh, no, I did better. Okay, I'm thinking of different hands. Small bet takes it down. Don't need to bet big there. Oh, I love this hand. Check, check on the turn. And the river I decide to bluff because I think he has 7s through 9s 100%. I think he has some 10x here that doesn't like calling as well. So I go for the big size to make sure I fold a 10x, but the smaller size still might be best. The smaller size still might be best because I guess he has some queen x to like ace, queen, king, queen might not like betting the flop all the time. But yeah, I'm just trying to fold out 7s through 9s there and some 10x, hence the big size. But a small size might be better on that spot. Or like a half pot size. Squeeze or fold. Fold the ace 10 under the gun. Low jack. Ace jack could be a better squeeze here. Yeah, well played, DRF. It's super funny, mate. The whole crowd's laughing. So, I mean, I wish like there was filtered hands for hands that I just went post-flop with. That'd be a lot easier. But yeah, we're a third of the way through, almost. 10-8 offsuit. This is the worst hand I mean, like an offset 2 gap at 10-8. I'll continue with this one. This could be losing though. Under the gun, it could be losing. Maybe it's better like MP. Actually, it's probably making more money versus under the gun because they're going to have less 8x, so yeah. Triples. Check raise. Shouldn't be a heap of betting from the hijack. This is actually day 2 from what I remember. I think I was early in the morning check raising this one. Calls, mix the turn. Bet it. Looking for the river jam. Get the fold. Can shove and call here. I like a call a little bit more since we're 60 deep. Brick shouldn't be floating here. How about this green screen just holding up? Again, a lot of checking on these low powered boards. Yeah. Queen's a pretty good card for me. And I have the king of clubs, which is not a good continue. So I'll just fold. Not sure how much big betting there is on the queen. Not too sure. Are we live tomorrow? Yes, we're playing the 2100 WPT 1 milli guaranteed. Day 1B. I had the option of playing day 1A today, but obviously I had the pod with Joey, so I skipped it. Which means I have a smaller chance of making day 2 now. Close to a pure 3-bet with jacks. Hit him with the 3x. Calls. I could be overbetting or overchecking these spots. I think on the high card boards versus like an earlier range, so like MP here, +1, under the gun, right? They're going to contain like more of the king X. We can see about the same more versus later positions because they're going to be wider. So yeah, this will be a mix with the jacks here. Maybe closer to a check. You could also argue closer to a bet because you don't have any of the suits on the flop, so you're getting more value. You're getting value from backdoors. Small bet. Mate, I don't even mind bluffing this hand the more I look at it. I don't mind betting turn, jamming, river, blocking like his best ace-x, blocking the queen jack. I kind of love just sending this one to hell. Yeah, it's fold river. Clean snap, 2 months. Welcome back, clean snap. Thank you. A little bit of 3-betting, mainly calling this deep with tens. 55 deep. Yeah, mainly calling. I mean, it's also cool, like, these 2 players are short. Could invite this guy to get it in. Pretty light versus me. We have the squeeze. For nothing, we get it in. We get lucky and hold. Oh no, I think I fucked it. Is my head like more see-through, more transparent now? It's whatever. I feel like I was too out of frame. Open to king 9. A board. I don't know what I like to do here, honestly. I probably like to check because I don't know what to do facing a check raise. Gets kind of awkward, so yeah, checking seems best. But yeah, that's okay. Like, it's not always going to roll off a queen at a 10, and like I'm still going to have a percentage of I'm trying to think what 10x hands I check here. I mean, it's just going to be 10-9 suited, I guess, and a bit of queen 10. Yeah, it's fine. Fold 10. I like it. Nazed, love you too, mate. Not defending. Fold, turn on. Okay, you did it. Right. Thank you for the advice. Given up. Could maybe bet the turn, but eh. Maybe it's fine to bet the turn now. Or maybe I want to double. Yeah, betting turn actually I probably prefer with this hand. Went for the big size. Hate the big size. Hate the big size. I guess I think small betting continues so many ace highs from them. Yeah, I hate the big size. And just give up now. That was a mistake for sure. I like the big size on the 853. It's tough for small blind to connect, but I don't think I need to go too big. I think a half pot size is actually best here. Do you get peeled? The king, like once I big bet, the king is pretty good because I block king 10 of spades here as well. But he continues more with like his backdoor diamond, so this could be like a 3 straights hand. But I think my flop size is too big. I bet the turn for a huge size. What's cool about this bet as well is I kind of bin him with like naked flush draws. I don't want to call this size. He folds. It could be a really atrocious flop and turn size still. I'm going to save it, look at it later. Fold. A lot of king 10 suited there. Easy call. And I think he big sizes here. Just check fold. No, check. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess versus solver continuing here makes a lot of sense. But I'm not sure how many people just like delay bet like ace 5 of hearts here. I'm not even sure like if you're allowed to have any no equity delay bets in this spot. And what size you pick. So I just fold because I think it's like a pretty underbluff spot by population. But I think versus solver, like I should be continuing that one. Flooding versus a shorty opening. I still find a 3-bet. There's not like many short stacks behind me. That's the issue with flooding this one. So I think 3-betting and calling are fine. 10, 9, 5. We're gonna barrel. We need to start putting money in the middle. Gonna pick a big size here. I should at least. Nice. Jack 7, 6, no spades here. The 7, 6 is like pretty good. Doesn't connect with them too hard. We should have an equal amount of like straight draws here. Yeah, I guess I could just. I'm not sure if I like big betting the ace king suited here. I really don't know about this one. I really don't know. Might make sense to check more. Go for the medium size. Just kind of a blind bet, unsure on what to do here. Turn a gutter. He has a small percentage of 10s at flat pre. Still has 7s and 6s here. Oh yeah, I get called by ace queen, that's right. I think it's bad bet though. Another spot I'm not too sure about. Just a lot of small betting here. Get a call from the big blind, who should play calls with a lot of 4x still. Also has some like a small amount of deuce x and has like ace 5, ace 3 here. Can also have like king queen of spades that floats maybe. check at the turn, although I don't think betting is all that bad because it still folds out a lot of ace-high from small blinds and ace-high from big blinds. So I think betting turn is actually better than checking. But I don't know if I want to be betting my entire range. I guess I do on that turn. It's a heavy bet, right? Can check some ace-high, so... Good river. Put this bloke all in. Try to get that bounty. Not sure what I expect him to call me with, though, to be fair. Maybe like, yeah, I mean, it's a good river for me to bluff. He has like king deuce suited as well that could call. Squeezing here is good. There you go, Pav. Never been in that turn. When he checks twice, he's probably got like... He's probably mixing some checks on the flop with like some really bad king X that he doesn't want to put money in with. Or he has like ace queen ace jack that sometimes mixes turn barrels. I mean, they should usually be betting the turn, but maybe he has like ace deuce of hearts or something. Or like queens or jacks here. But yeah, I don't really want to bluff this, so just take it to showdown. That flop check is not very good, I don't think. Gonna call this and also have the option of 3-bet stacking for the bounty, but I think calling is a little bit better here. I'm at least calling, never folding it. Just gonna try hit a deuce. Complete shot call for a small size. Don't need to do turn leading because he still barrels a lot of 10x. He still has a bunch of better 2 pairs as well, so I'm not going to lead this combo, but I will be leading some. Check the low with king queen. I mean, he's shopping with a bunch of king x. I think the board was paired. Doesn't want to face a check raise. He's just by the flop though. He made a mistake. So goes check on the turn. What are we doing here? Going for a big bet. Don't like this size. It's like 60%. I don't like the size. He still has better 2 pairs. I mean, I guess he still has like queen 9 suited, queen jack, ace king. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this one. I think a small size makes more sense. But I guess I blocked, you know. He's better 2 pair combos, so that's why I went with the bigger size. Oh, fold. Ace jack suited versus a +1 flooding range. Doing a lot of checking here. A small amount of betting, and ace jack will fall into that small amount of betting. For value, and I'll have some like, you know, backdoor flush draws that interact with his best ace x and king x. Facing the squeeze here, just gonna fold king queen offsuit in early position. I don't think shoving is an option. Decent blockers, but I think just folding here is fine. I can call if I open a late position, but I think I've got some better hands there. I'd complete king queen suited. I 4x the king 10 offsuit here for 50. We're doing a lot more raising, 50 effective. I will be mixing this one probably like 70-30, mostly raising. Gonna check with the flop, not looking to play it. I have showdown value. Delay betting is not necessary. Doesn't fold many ace-highs. Check again is good. Do I want to start bluffing river? The answer... Nah, he has worse king high still. I still have like 8s. You know, I got like 7s through 10s there. A tiny bit of queen x. If someone was just like overfolding so much in those spots, I could like pot that river, but like that's moving on to like, you know, exploits, which are still pretty dicey. I like a big size here. Although small betting is not bad as well. I think, yeah, I still prefer the big sizes deep, but I'll probably go small here. Yeah, actually, I'm going to just double check that one for 50. With a naked flush draw versus having like 10x of diamonds and 10-9 suited here. I just want to compare the two. I think this one falls into more bigger betting. I know my range is wide. Oh, I put it in the wrong chat. I know my range is wide on the button. That's probably why I pick a small size. But I'm not small betting my entire range, you know. And yeah, I've got to continue barreling now. Can't ever check this. Terrible check. I guess in my mind I was like, he's continuing everything that calls flop, but it's not true, man. He's folding 9-8, 9-7, 9-6. He's folding a bunch of weak jack X. Like, just a terrible check. Bad poker. Now I'm folding turn. As you can see, I made a lot of mistakes. I do it all the time. If anyone reviewed their totem, they'd find hundreds of mistakes. But it's good, you know, you review it and you just don't do it again next time, or you try not to. Standard small bet. Can you analyze that hand? But I mean, I'm going to get to it eventually. I don't know what hand you're talking about though. If you're referring to he's queen 10, he's second pair, that was just bad. I think he's just clicking buttons there. We'll get to it though. I'm not sure how much check raising I'm allowed here. I don't know if fours will fall into that category. Maybe it would a little bit. I still have like 5s, 6s, 7s, and 9s that are doing quite a bit of flooding there. And this is a good turn card because he doesn't bluff it too much. I have a lot of ace high, so we can just check it down and hope he checks. He checks 3s. Cool, cool, cool. And gonna mix some raising here. Go for the 4x. He calls a lot of small betting now. Nice. Couldn't even go smaller, but it's fine. So I'll be mixing some offsuit broadways here. The queen jack, I probably rolled high with this one. It's a heavier flat than it is a 3-bet. Take it down. Defend the 2.5x. Check, check. I don't know if I'm doing... I think I'm doing less big betting versus under the gun and more big betting versus late position, because under the gun still has some overpairs that want to exercise checking on this flop. So I'm doing still some big betting, but also some small betting. I'm going to actually save this hand to see if it prefers more small betting versus big betting. I go for the like 2/3 size here, which is like meh. Still could be fine with this exact combo, but we'll see later. On the river, facing a call, I go for another value bet. I guess in my mind I'm thinking, alright, he's not going to pot control enough over pairs here. But yeah, I'm just going to get called here by an ace, basically. Gonna bet the 9s, need protection. Not doing much checking with 9s here. Nazza completes. I turn a boat. This is a card I'm doing a lot of betting on because Nazza has so little 9x in his range, so I should be doing just a lot of betting here in general. What are we looking at here? We're looking at like a fucking 5... SVR. So yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind going for like a. I can go for like an 80, 160. I could go like a big bet than an overbet. I could also go like, overbet now. I think like 80% is good here. Fuck yeah. And yeah, even though we turned the boat, like this is not like I know a lot of people. I mean, it's actually a really common mindset, even that I experienced myself coming up, where it's like, oh, I gotta check now. I'm gonna. What if he folds? It's not about what if he folds. It's about what you do with your entire range and how you get the most out of it. And that's why, as I mentioned on the double flush draw board, I'm doing a lot of betting in this card. It makes sense to barrel my nines. We're deep. I want to get money in the end. 10-3-0, fold to the 3x. Ace 10. See a bet small on the monotone. Span the hater quickly so he moves on with his life. And yeah, go for like a 3.8x there. Could also 4x it since we're a little bit like 40 plus effective. Folded to a 3-bet there with King Queen O, opening under the gun. Don't think it plays too well, facing a tight 3-betting range. Kings, let's 3-bet it up, let's squeeze it up. Never action, eh? And I want to, at the very least, call this here. I don't want to always fold. 6-5 is a good continue hand here. Getting a good price, pretty easy to play post flop. Oh, I remember this hand, this was funny. Big size, see like more than a half pot size from the opener. Continue, brick on the turn. See another barrel for half pot. Call. River is so beautiful because it's so tough to bluff this hand. He doesn't pull the trigger, thank goodness. Here we go, mate. 2.4 million. I don't know if this is the final. No, it's not. Man, how many hands did I play in the final table? Squeeze the king queen here. Good combo to squeeze. Blockers. I would mix squeezing and calling with king queen suited, but king queen offsuit, I think I always want to squeeze or fold that one. I don't think I want to call it too often. Could be a fine call though as well. I'm not too sure. Open. 3 callers. Multi-way. I don't have a bad hand to bet. I've got some decent backdoors. I block their like best top pairs and like their solid second pairs. So I think betting is fine here as well. I go for the big size. I'm not sure how much big betting, like half pot might be preferred sizing here, but yeah, I do bet it. I think the bet makes sense. The sizing I'm unsure about. I go for a huge size actually. And I get a jam, and yeah, I just have better hands to call here, so fold. Even with a sexy bounty. Check fold. Ooh, oh yeah, so he puts in a 3k bounty. My goodness, that's a big bounty, isn't it? So I play the shove with king queen here. 60 deep with these two blokes. I still think it plays fine as the shove. I don't know if I like 3-bet folding or calling here. I just like the shove. Run equity for such a huge bounty. And I don't get lucky. Unfortunate. Open ace-8, face a 3-bet, and I don't know if I want to call ace-8 offsuit. Oh no, he's only 30 deep, okay. 29 deep, start the hand. I mean, shoving is not the worst. It's a pretty polar spot. I have an ace, but maybe calling is fine here as well. I just fold it. Not too sure about this spot. Maybe the worst ace I want to call is like ace 9 offsuit. Small bet gets it through. Mixing here. Probably doing less 3-betting actually the deeper I get in the tournament. Check, 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 check. Oh yeah, I remember tagging this guy. He did, like, someone not wanting to bet the flop with fours here or bluff the river, like, good to tag the spot that they just give up. Like, that's pretty important information that they won't put you in too many tough spots in the future. And that it also makes their, like, river value betting range, it makes their value betting range in general consist of too many bluffs. You know, not that I'm saying, like, he's meant to bet the river there oh, he's not betting for value, but I'm just saying, like, someone who doesn't bet the flop there might lack thin value bets in the river and have too many bluffs. Three bet aces, tiny C bet on a super dry board, get the call. I want to start putting money in to SPR. I'm going to go like 500,000. I go for a small size. I'm going for the 40-80 line, which is also good here, yeah. Actually makes sense to go for the smaller bet on the dry card. It's like an absolute brick 7. Open up king queen. See the 3-bet. I call. This is the guy who didn't want to bet the flop of fours, by the way, or bluff the river. But yeah, my hand's too strong to fold. Check, check on the flop. Don't know how much betting I do here. Checking seems fine. I mean, you could argue betting he might just be very ace-king heavy and never like bluff this flop with ace-king. So, you know, he delay bets for a big size. Call once, river the queen. He checks. I don't know. Like, I have better hands available. Bet. Like, I got a bunch of sets here. I still have 5 7s, jacks, and 8s. I have queen jack suited. I have 10-9 suited. So I feel like I have better hands. And he might play aces and kings like this. Could still have jacks here. Yeah, I just struggled to think of hands he calls me with in this spot, so I check. A little bit unsure. I feel like I have better hands to bet there, but maybe it's a fine bet. He rocks up with 8-6 suited, which I don't like too much as a 3-bet. I feel like 3-betting something connected would make more sense, like 5-6 suited, 6-7 suited. It's a little tough to continue with the suited 1 gapper. But yeah, pretty surprised to see that after the way he played fours. So I play the flat here because big blind has 2 bigs with a 3k bounty. So I don't want to 3-bet forward this. I want to definitely VPip it. I remember this one coming through delay and I was scared of being sniped. So yeah, checks around on the flop, which is pretty standard with this hand. I make a mistake by checking the turn because I can't get his bounty anymore. Also, I think it's displaying bounties as the total bounty, so like, we don't get the full 3k, we get 1500, and then the other 1500 goes in our head. Not too sure, maybe I'm wrong though. But yeah, I should bet the turn, because he's tanking here for the pay jump. So I gotta bet the turn, otherwise he can just check for the river. That was my mistake. I was playing so fast, I didn't want to, I was playing so fast, I didn't want my fucking delay to come through with his long hands. Yeah, value bet river, get called by worse, chip up, but miss the turn barrel. End up getting his bounty anyway, I think. Open up the king 5, look for the bounty, he flats, I bet flop. And bet the turn, ace is really good for me. But I don't think it will be an awful check here as well, because he's meant to be floating so much. And yeah, he ends up surviving, so I lose with the king high. Now jack 8, I guess I gotta keep V-pipping. Get it through. Having ace king is kind of good here, but he folds. Just gonna... Don't need to shove, he's a little bit deep, just squeeze it here. I just shoved the 10-9 here. I got shorties behind me. I don't think this bloke is trapping enough. Could be, of course. Good spot to trap in general, but just with how he was playing, I was like, nah, mate. Like, I think he like snap called this one. I was like, just gonna rip it here. I got decent equity. Get the fold, fade the world. So let's just see what my bounty goes up to now. I got 1400. I think it only goes up 1500, so I'm only getting half the bounty. Yeah, only getting half the bounty. Fuck, we're over halfway. 3-bet calling now. Nazar. See you later, mate. Oh yeah, someone requested to watch that weird hand from Nazar. I already went past that, not gonna find it. I thought it was in the final table. I forgot I busted him early. Four X the tens deep. Blind versus blind. Gonna get more water. Defend. So I'm not sure if I like check raising more. Um, he's he's shallow, so it's easier to get stacks in. So you could argue check calling more here, but I do want to have some bluffs in the board. So having, I guess I could just check raise my single top pairs and check call the two pairs. Yeah, yeah. I'm not too sure. This one could be a butcher as well. I might be overplaying this spot. Like for value, maybe my hands shouldn't be too bad, like top and bottom. I should check raise 4 deuce and check raise just single king X and flat the rest. But yeah, check raise and see the fold. But you know, I'm going to check raise the 4 deuce suited boards quite a bit in my mind, so that's why I'm raising it. I like the shove here as well. I think he's just raising too much. It's got decent playability. He's got a sizable bounty on him. Yeah. I mean, actually, the bounty's only 830, isn't it? So that's not worth that much to sleep in a tournament. Yeah, folding is fine. I don't really have an idea of like he went for the 2.5x sub 20, so I thought I had like less spot equity. Open jam versus the shorties there. What's he putting in here? He's putting in 7 big blinds, is it? What's the big blind again? 60k? He's putting like 7.5, 8 big blinds in this spot. With this tiny bounty. Chips are worth too much here to peel this one very close, because I can afford the loss as well. It's a really close one. Like, doesn't affect my position in the tournament too much. Just opening every ace with the shorty there. I mean, we're also hand for hand now on the FT bubble, so I'm just, you know, being a big stack, opening most of my offsuit ace-x and squeezing with this hand. Probably not the best combo to squeeze, but like a pretty good spot to squeeze on the final table bubble, but never folding. Call it. Check call a small bet. Check check on the flush completer. And on the river, just go for a small bet here. I I don't know how much. I don't know what amount of king X I want to just check the river as opposed to betting it. But yeah, just go for a small bet. And yeah, tiny bounty, just gonna fold. Also gotta keep in mind that if I ISO too wide here, like big blind's still gonna come along, you know? If he thinks I ISO too wide there, big blind's still gonna call with, like the main concern about this hand is having a 30 big blind stack behind me. Flat the fours, checks around, hit a flush. And I think I made a mistake folding here. I'm trying to think if I think in real time I was like, doesn't under the gun or doesn't the opener still like doesn't mind like delay betting like queen ten of hearts here, you know? Like king queen no diamond is maybe not the worst delay bet. But then I was like, big blind comes along as well though. Big blind has so many diamonds. So yeah, I wasn't too sure. Maybe it's a continue here. I guess when big blind's in the pot, I don't want to continue as much. If it's like cut off hijack, I should call there. So maybe it's a fine fold. Not defending. And shoving is actually not that bad. I think I even spoke about it in game. It's 60 big blinds. I can still afford losing here. I cover him for a big bounty. But yeah, don't need, not very necessary. I think both 3-betting and calling is fine. Like I could 3-bet, he could 4-bet light, and I could jam as well. Like there are going to be some light 4-bets here for sure from good players. Check, check. Don't want to start putting money in the middle because button still has 9x. If it's like hijack versus small blind button, I can do more betting because he has less 9x. Fold. Opening wide here on the FT bubble, betting once. Do I want to bet the turn ever here? Probably not with my worst 8. I mean, he does have still like 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 though. I don't think I'm getting bluffed off on the river though, that's why I check it. The Rees. All the pots coming my way. Easy shove. For 23 versus cutoff. It's like near a pure shove for sub 25 with 5 versus cutoff. Especially with a bounty. Versus Olympia, I am doing a lot of raising. I'm not sure if I want to put 4-3 in that range. He double barrels, picks a really big size on the rainbow. It's like the driest card in the deck. I'm not sure how much I want to continue. I do fold because I block like his draws of 4x. I don't know if he's going to bomb the turn here with 8, 9, 10, 9 too often. Like, I'm not sure if you want to barrel the turn with a gutter here in already what is like a high ICM spot on the bubble. So yeah, I just make a fold because I'm not too sure. I'm min here. Yeah, shoving I shouldn't be doing when he has 30. But I don't think it'll be awful either. Minning just seems best. Not going to raise call 17 for a small bounty. Opening, facing a 3-bet, not continuing. I mean, I'm not sure. Like, you could continue versus some players here, but they should really just be super tight. Also, I did mention that his bluffs will have me dominated, like King Jack and Ace 9. A lot of raising here. I'm just gonna give up in this board. I have like no equity here to barrel, so I've got to be careful with these boards that really connect with big blind's range. He has so many floats on this board, so many pairs, just so many like we're gonna see too many turns. I don't have queen high, no diamonds. So we're on the final table now. Defending ace 5. versus nerd guy who was apparently some Brazilian stable owner or some stable coach, some sicko. Check flop. He should be checking the board a lot. I go for the big turn bet. I think I can also big bet with the ace-5. It doesn't have to consist of only bluffs and two pairs that don't connect with the ace. So a lot of big betting, get it through. This final table is 170 plus hands, 172 hands long. 8-5 suited here. I'm not sure about this 3-bet because this guy's range should be really tight, but at the same time, like, he shouldn't be continuing very often, so I just 3-bet. Seems like a good spot. I wanted to be a table captain. Ace king suited, going for the first bounty here. Shove. I call because I'm going to call fold versus small blind. Gets a hold down to 8 players. Pocket 8s. Let's see an open, and betting and checking are fine here. I prefer the check a little bit more because cutoff doesn't want to do as much floating versus me. So yeah, betting is probably slightly better. Nice. Bet and a call, brick on the turn. Now I check. Up against big blinds 10x. Versus a cutoff bet, a Maori, and a check raise. Pretty interesting check raise. Gets the fold. Pretty interesting. I think I would check call had big blind folded though. It's a pretty good spot to check call. Cutoff has like very little 10x in his range. Yeah, share it. Share it, Void. Just share the hand, not the 20. You can do it, mate. I believe in you. I mean, I'm just going to talk about how I think it's bad, but, you know, I don't know. Could be 300 IQ. A lot of people suggesting it's 300 IQ just because I don't understand it, but it's not always the case. People can play hands poorly. So I check here. Checking and betting are fine. Betting probably a little bit better. I got like my best jack here. I think I missed a bet. Check the turn, value bet the flush. For a big size, happy with that. Alright, let's open up the hands. Okay, so Naza opening in MP. Button and big blind complete goes multi-way. He goes for the quarter pot size with queen 10 here. Gets 2 callers. Barrels a turn again, but for a big size. So potentially this is some shit where he thinks he folds out a bunch of better queen X. He blocks. I mean, they're 3-betting ace queen a lot pre, but he does block ace queen. He blocks the ace 10, which is like a solid ace to continue with. Like maybe he thinks people overfold like ace 5 suited here, which is totally reasonable, by the way. Very reasonable. But yeah, I was a little bit confused. Even for the bet, give up. Maybe a river you don't want to bluff too much because like ace jack's part of that range, but yeah, he double barreled the queen 10. I'm not sure what the, like, I guess like the exploit is. Like, this is, I don't think this is like a solver approved player. But yeah, my understanding is he thinks he's folding out a bunch of ace-x from button still with that big turn size. Yeah, don't know what else to say about it. It seems bad to me, but it could be fine. This is the funnest hand of the tournament, hands down. So open, get flat by the early position player, Wizzo. We go 4 ways. A lot of small betting on this board from us. Not too much big betting, dry board. Small bet the queens, get the immediate fold from Wizzo to my direct left, which I'm very happy with. Now, small blind still has 4s and 6s here. A tiny bit of jacks, but usually always squeezing jacks. Get called from 2 players. The turn is a card that is great for me. I continue a lot of king 10 here. Like, I even continue king 10 offsuit. I've got king jack, king queen, ace king. King 5 suited I'm opening as well. King 7 suited. So it's a great card for me to barrel in general. Now, my reason for barreling the queens here, which is like the in-between range, really. I don't always need to barrel this hand because I have showdown value. As I want to still get money in for the bounty here, who has less than like who has around half pot. So I think he can still pay off with like a six and a flush draw, or like five X of hearts, just like a straight and a flush draw. He could have ace ten of hearts, ace six of hearts. So I just want to get money in for the bounty here. I also think it's not unreasonable for Jack X to still continue from small blind because, like I said, I'm barreling this turn a lot. So I think some Jack X still does continue. So yeah, but mainly in my mind right now, I'm going for the bounty. Um, I bet getting the small blind call, I'm just giving up all the time now and hoping to win. Fold from the short stack. Then the ace of hearts hits, and he now can't have any nut flushes. And I have two queens blocking both queen 10 suited that likes to continue. So yeah, queen 10 of diamonds is all I'm worried about here. Which again, does queen 10 of diamonds like calling a river jam, which is what I do. I go for the overbet in this spot. I think it's a good combo to overbet. Gotta be careful with what I overbet. Hang on, let me just replay this piano sound. Gotta be careful with what I overbet here, because obviously like my entire value range doesn't consist of overbets in this spot, right? Like I'm not gonna overbet ace king, doesn't really accomplish much. I just want to overbet a small percentage of like nut flush blockers and pairs that block two pairs, like queen jack. I mean, queen jack I'm not sure has always been in a turn, so yeah, it's really funny with what I ruck up on this river. Maybe pot size betting is fine as well, but like, what do you, like I said, he lacks so many flushes. Like he does have 6-7 of hearts, 6-5 of hearts, jack, I think jack 8 of hearts is folding pro flop, so he's got jack 9 of hearts, jack 10 of hearts. He's got like 4 combos of flushes here. And even facing an overbet with 6-7 of hearts, you're just saying fuck, man. Like, you're probably calling anyway, but yeah, I think overbetting is the play here. Because like you never call ace jack, you just fucking hate life. Seems like the perfect hand to use. But I was checking the river until the ace of hearts hit. It's like the single card that I'm just fucking going bananas on. If it's a queen of spades, I'm not betting it. Yo, what up, Easter? Reviews, I guess. Just talking, hoping to make sense here. How about if he called you a king jack there? What do you mean, how about? How is that a question? What if he makes a bad call, Pav? Well, then it's not going to stop me from making what I think a good plays in the future. Calling here, so it doesn't affect my spot in the tournament. It's not a huge bounty, it was only 1k, so like, it's displaying the full bounty. I get half of this and the other half goes in my head. And I lose to ace-high. I'm going to do a lot of raising here, blind versus blind. Folding now. Yeah, I'm going to be raising something like at least 2/3 of my range in the small blind there. It looks like... Wait, did he double through him? He did. Let's see this hand. Open for 25. Oh, what? Oh, because the hands are filtered. That's right. Calling and 3-betting. Calling's better when you're shorter though. So fucking... Yeah, this is at least a continue. I hope this is never a fold. Now it's a fold. But yeah, Wizzo just capable of the squeeze fold here. Like going for those really good spots where like I'm doing a small percentage of slow playing here, of course, but I'm also just 3-bet stacking a bunch for his bounty. And what's cool about him squeezing here is that my continues in the spot will consist of like will block the opener's nutted range, so like I'm gonna have some ace jack, ace queen, ace 10 here, some king queen, which all blocks the opener's nutted range, so it's a good spot to squeeze in general, and probably an under squeeze spot by most people. On the queen hand, what would you do if the river was if that river... What would I do with jacks in that river? I'd value that. I'd just pick a small size and hope to get paid off. Maybe I pick a medium size, I'm not sure. I'd definitely value bet though. Like my overbet bluffs, my overbets for value are only going to consist of flushes. for value. That's what I'm repping in that river. I'm not repping two pair or straights. It's just flushes. Shoving probably a bit spewy here. But also fun to see what this guy's calling range looks like. Shoving might be 300 IQ, but yeah, calling is always making money. Because I can fold out 4s through 9s here. Like 9s is not calling, you know? Like it's actually a fucking sicko spot to jam. In fact. Save the same for later. Checking turning delay bets with queen jack. It's called by 7s. I should go back. I might open that hand. Although I don't think I will versus a 50 big blind stack. He can still defend an okay amount. I got such trash. Are you opened anywhere? Good 3-betting hands. Get the fold. Open it. Get the fold. I think king 4 3-betting this would make money still. You got 3 sub 20 big blind stacks, almost 3 sub 15 big blind stacks. Definitely opening it. I really prefer to see like a 4.5x open here. Fucking terrible. That's just bad awareness. I mean, it's just versus a good player. I'm thinking like, nah, he's still defending a good amount. And yeah, you know what? He is defending a good amount. And I guess ladders aren't worth as much in bounty tournaments. So like, not the worst limp still. But yeah, you know what? Not terrible. If he had like 35 big blinds, always raising this one. 46, like some limping. Speech War dropping 2 months at a channel. Thank you, mate. And yeah, this is bad. I probably just overthought this spot like an idiot. Easy flop bet here. I got an overcard back to spades. I get it. He's got a lot of continues here as well. But yeah, just bad. Not gonna VPip this wide. But I did. Well, this guy's got a huge man tag and raise call it off, actually. I guess I'm opening like everything suited in this spot. I'm raise folding versus bottom though, but I'm calling off big blinds. Yo, what up, Mark? I just got here late. I think I missed the amazing queen hand. Easily one of my favorite hands. Yeah, I just ripped it. You can check out the VOD. I basically just spoke about how my value only consists of flushes there. For overbets, and I'll pick smaller sizes for like value bets, and I can also like, yeah, I'm trying to think what my big bet bluffs come from that aren't overbets. If I have an 80% size as a bluff there, I don't know which hands they are. What's happening here? Big blind folding. I open 7-3 because I'm happy to raise call off big blind, and it's still ICM pressure, so I'm just opening a lot of suited stuff. But the fact that there were 2 shorties, you know, makes up for that. For the most part. Check, check, flop. I'm not going to barrel this turn with no equity. Maybe it's making money just potting this turn and putting him in the bin, but he's going to start exercising a lot of pot controlling. Small bet. You could maybe do some big betting there, it would be appropriate, but like the problem is the small blind's flooding range. He's gonna have like so little 3 bets, so like he still has a lot of good ace-x here. It's not like he's really capped. This is still an okay call. I don't have to 3 bet this one. Calling is probably better, and then if big blind gets in, I can just call this guy's gem. And another good spot to squeeze. I don't know how to continue with the ace-jack offsuit here. It might be continue, might be good enough. Like he did squeeze fold last time, this could be a good continue. But since I'm unsure, I just fold it and avoid tough spots. Easy call. Good luck. Ace. Shit, can't. Fold. So I guess my reasoning here for limping is that he's not going to ISO too much, given that he doesn't want to play bloated pots with the other big stack. But at the same time, you can still like do some raising. I have a really bad hand here. It's going to be tough to play post, but I guess it's also good to like test the waters to see if he's going to do enough raising blind for blind. I do check. It's a good hand to check, you know. I have like my worst 10. I block his continues, which contain 4x, like suited 4s, 4-3, 4-6. So I check. The turn makes for a good check. Actually, no, I'm doing a lot of small betting with like some ace highs on the turn as well, right? So yeah, I guess going both ways is fine here. I think betting is a little bit better because I need protection. I can check with like Jack 10 and Queen 10. Would make more sense in my opinion. Because if I delay bet this, I'm going to fold out like Queen highs, which is what I want, right? I don't want him to get there. But checking with Queen 10, I want him to get there. So delay bet and tough river spot. Blocking ace 4 is nice. Does he have enough deuce X here? Probably. He has king 3 and ace 3. So I guess I have a valid bet again here. He does check back some 5x, unfortunately. But he doesn't have enough river bluffs. You know, his bluffs on a river. Like, he's just got a lot of checks on a river, so just bet again makes sense. But it's a little bit weird because I have my worst 10. He still has, like, 10-9, 10-8. That might make some checks there as well. But yeah, get the fold. Could be too thin, that spot. Aces can do small and medium betting here. Don't need to do big betting for 20 effective. Half pot sizing is fine here as well. Nice. Not getting amongst that. Versus the open shot for 18. Very clear get in here. Chips are worth a lot. The bounty's okay, but the chips are worth a lot here. Rarely rocks up with better pairs. Has some worse pairs as well. Shoves 6s, 7s, and 8s here. Shoves obviously a bunch of broadways which are flipping against, but easy call. Unfortunately, he does have 10s. Jack 5 suited. We will defend. Good check raising hand. He checks it back though. And now we're check folding. So yeah, this was really going to come down to how does he play his ace highs and king highs on the turn, like his king jack, ace jack. What is he doing with them on the turn? Like this might be a good, yeah, I think this is a bet now. This is a bluff. This is a good hand to bluff. My sizing, I'm unsure. I guess I just saw a lot of 80% betting here, but I check like a bitch in real time, and he bets. But the thing is as well is like he should probably still be exercising queen x checks on the turn for like this reason. But yeah, a spot I'm not totally sure about. I'm more curious about what amount of hands he checks the flop with because he covers me as well, so he's not going to face too many tough spots, I don't think. Threes, calling, folding to the squeeze. Although I was very tempted to back raise. Wizzo's just had like 3 out of 3 successful squeezes here. Not defending. I'm the most ICM handcuffed right now. So I will never raise this one. I will do a lot of limping. I'll do a tiny bit of raising, but very little. I'll do some limping. I actually don't mind the limp raise line as well, but just folding is fine. Queen Jack O. And yeah, this is a funny-ish one. I checked the flop because, like, I'm usually just range betting here for small. But I'm not sure if the same applies with an ICM setup, so I checked it. Then I call the turn bet, and river bricks, I check. Here's Jack 10, but I could have missed the flop bet there. Easy shove. He has an easy raise call, and I get lucky. And just gonna fold this one, don't want to VPip it. And never folding this one. Good hand to at least call. Can sometimes 4-bet it, but I think calling might be... Actually, 4-betting might be preferred with the setup. Maybe he's 3-betting so much though. He goes for the 20% size. Continue. I turn a 10. Have to continue for sure on this card. The issue is... yeah, like, I don't know how many bluffs he has in this spot because this 10 is really good for my range, right? I pick up equity with ace 10, ace jack, ace queen. Even like 10x of clubs is peeling here, so yeah. I'm not sure if he likes sending this one. Like, this is very few bluffs he has here is what I'm trying to say. Like, queen jack suited is like a very tiny 3-bet pre-flop from him. So he has to be bluffing like, you know, jack 7, jack 8 of spades. Like, there's just not many. It's a very annoying spot, I'll say that. But I think ace 10's always continue. Brick river, check check, has jacks there. So I guess he plays that pretty good. Oh yeah, who's fighting? Kyle Esparza. So are we in the main card yet, or what? That's main card, I'm pretty sure. Oh, who's the chick she's fighting? Marina Rodriguez. Never heard of her. Open up the 10, seems like a fine check bag. Doesn't really accomplish much if I bet. And checking turn. Could do a tiny bit of betting. Versus button wouldn't be the worst here. Still has ace 10, bunch of 9x, bunch of flushes of betting turn though. Yeah, just check. Got a value bet the river though. Could be a bad size. Seems fine. Am I gambling crypto? I am just reviewing a tournament on CheckDecide. I'm not gambling any money right now. Easy check call for a small bet with the gutter into pair. Now, another hand I definitely want to save because I think there's obviously a bit of leading on this card. I'm trying to think what I want. I know there's leading on this card. What I want to know is what are my best 8s to check and lead. Yeah, not too sure. I feel like I want to check more with this 8 because I don't have a 9 in my hand, and if in position has a 9, he's doing more betting. Check, check, and sizing on this river is a bit awkward. I'm definitely value betting. Sizing unsure about because he does mix some checks with a jack, but I definitely got to bet this river because I bluff a bunch of like backdoor diamonds and 9x. Yeah, terrible. Just terrible. Got to bet this river. He still calls enough 10x. He still has queens plus. This is a bad check. He decided to check that 9, which is fine. Maybe I'm just meant to do a lot of... yeah. We'll see later with that turn. Never folding a 3-bet for this size is really small. Top pair, call a small bet for a quarter. Great turn card, picking up my equity. Don't play leads on it though. In a 3-bet pot at least. At least in this setup I don't think I do. Can do some small betting to try and get called by 8s through queens here. Another bad check here. This turn isn't amazing for me. Like I don't have that many 2 pairs. I mean, he made it so maybe he realized mid-hand, oh fuck, I made it really small. He has a bunch of 2 pairs, suited kings here, but yeah. But also, like, maybe he wants to just make me fold ace-high on the river here, so. I guess I was just so confused by a small 3-bet pre, I didn't know what the fuck he had. Thought he'd make it bigger with jacks. Speaking of, get that through. Dim-witted hustler, 5 months to the channel. Thank you, mate. Doing great. Let's keep the roll rolling. Let's, mate. So close to finishing it. I just want to like eat food and piss. Not in that order. Folding the ace-9. My worst call, ace-10 offsuit is, oh, mate, probably a fold. Ace-jack offsuit, close as well on the button. I'm calling ace-10-0. I have a hand that likes some 3-betting. Oh, I'm sitting second though. I've got to be careful, right? I don't want to do much 3-betting. Gonna be at a very low frequency. Test, test, test. It's a bit loud, this music. I'm not sure if I like this float, but given how wide he is, king high with the backdoor seems okay enough. I'd fold like king 6 though. Maybe I shouldn't. Anyway, lead the turn. Great card for me to bet. I turn straights on both ends. I do that with a mix of deuce X as well. Actually, maybe I have 0 deuce X at check call leads there. That's not true. I gotta have some for sure. And this might be a little bit loose. Oh, we're all even now. Okay, I thought he was still the chip leader. Like a commanding chip leader. And don't really have much of this board, just going to give up. Ooh, I was tempted to rip this one, but yeah, I wasn't too sure. Just folded it. I mean, casino's been pretty like solid so far. I haven't really seen anything crazy, so folded. I want to do some raising here mainly, but I was in bitch mode, I guess. Limp colder. You don't really love limp shoving ace-10 for 40, so definitely limp calling it, but should be raising it mostly pre. Check call here. I don't even think check raising is awful in this spot, given how high up I am in my range. Jack is a great cover into barrel. He checks it though. Then he bets the river. Maybe he thinks he can't be going for three streets, so he's worth Jack X. So he goes for a bet, check back. Could also just have Jack X of hearts there. But yeah, fold. Not too sure about that one. I think I should be raising pre-flop. Flop a 7 here, 40 deep, checks to me. So a lot of, I don't think there's much big betting on the flop. I think just a lot of small betting and checking, since I'm not big betting like every 7 here, right? 7-6 is doing a lot of small betting. So I like the small bet, and then once he continues, everything changes now, right? We can now start bringing in some big betting. On the ace, we're just usually playing not a heap of small bets, just a lot of checks or big bets. The opener's going to do some leading on this card because the opener's going to have more ace-7, ace-8, ace-9 offsuit. We don't have any of that really, with ace-9 a bit actually, but yeah, I just want to get stacks in now. Even if this isn't solver approved, which I'm pretty sure it definitely is for the big size here, keeping up polar. Even if it's not solver approved, we can still big bet and get a lot of ace-high calls. Like, you know, he's going to have ace-king, ace-queen, ace-10. Ace 5, ace 6, so yeah. Always a pot size bet here, I love. Get the call. Board pairs, and I'm shoving now. I think I will also be potting the turn with 10-8 suited, so yeah, it's in general just a really good follow through for me here. My bluffs will come from Queen 10 and King 10. I mean, King 10 maybe not so much. Yeah, not a heap. I mean, 10-7 suited folding pre-flop, so I'll have to bluff King 10, Queen 10, 10-9 suited. And yeah, like let's just say the river was a brick. Let's say it was a deuce here. I'd be bluffing a lot of one pairs, wouldn't I? Jam, get the fold. Raise it up versus limp. Just want to RFI this one. He's going to do less raising versus me, since he's a little bit more ICM handcuffed. What the fuck is this? I'm going to play the call versus node guy. Don't want to do too much 3-betting in general, so it's going to be like a pure call. One of my suited aces. Easy check call on the flop. Turn is not fun because we face a lot of barrels. We have fuck all 10x in our range. He can do a lot of big betting. We just can't really do much. I think we're going to fold so much. So yeah, I fold. But ICM handcuff there as well, so just a really shit turn. Ace 9 open. I can just range bet small here. Check, check. And I get value owned here by a 3, because I mean I probably shouldn't call here because I have a 9, which is really bad to have. Get one through. I'll probably upload this to YouTube, yes. Check, check. Check, check on the turn. I don't know what percentage of my aces I'm betting the turn with here. So I'm going to save this one because I'm probably missing value. Like, not that I'm missing value, like I think checking this ace is fine. I just mainly think it's just easier to like picture like, oh, maybe I just bet ace 4 through ace 9. Something like, you know, like half the time. We'll see. But yeah, check, check, check on the turn. And I check the river, which is not good. I mean, okay, so what's not good about it is that like we're just shopping a bunch here anyway. But I'm missing value from like jacks and 10s that might want to do this, or queens or kings. So yeah, the reason I checked was I don't know if I have a leading range in this river. I don't know what it looks like. So yeah, here's king jack. Like he should theoretically have some delay bet bluffs as well in that spot. Ace king open. I think the best play here is to just shove. Cool. They're both short. 3-betting and playing out of position is a nightmare there. 100% flat versus 25 here. I may have butchered this hand. Call a small c-bet, standard, get cold. Turn as a club. Don't do any betting here. Let's have a flush. Easy check with second pair. River is a jack. And I guess my main question is like, what's my sizing in this spot? My bluffs will have to come from some backdoor spades that don't want to barrel the turn. So 10-9, queen 10 of spades. Possibly, yeah, maybe I want to start over bluffing here with like king queen of spades as well. But yeah, so I pot it because like my bluffs will come from some spades. But the thing is, I have so much jack X in my range still that I think I don't need to do some potting here. When small blind possibly still has a bunch of flushes that check at the spot to like bin my jack X of value bets. So yeah, I'm not too sure about that one sizing wise. She looks tiny compared to Rodriguez. I mean, she's short. Rodriguez is really tall. Isn't that it? That's the only thing. Defend, check, fold. I have no idea how the fight's going. I mean, I just get so bored watching like women fight. Unless it's Amanda Nunes, Joanna. So okay, we got Valentina, Joanna, Nunes. We have Rose and Holly Holm. I like watching her as well. It's like 5 or 6 fighters and like Cyborg. I liked watching. And again, could just play the shove here. I mean, 3-bet calling might be fine as well. 3-bet calling might be a spot for it. Just because it's a tournament win, right? He might just get it in and could think I'm bluffing. And maybe 3-betting early could build up to this spot where he just like 4-bets at me, I jam. Yeah, play the flat. Nothing wrong with that as well. But 3-betting could be the best play here. But yeah, my reasoning for calling was because they were both short. Check, check, flop. I checked the turn. I'm not entirely sure how to approach it. Turn is probably a bet the more I think about it, just because he's not going to start bluffing ace highs on the turn. We can still get value from ace, queen, ace, king, ace 10. He has ace 8. More I look at this, I think this is a really bad turn check because the only thing I'm getting value from is hands that delay bet that have no equity on the flop. And yeah, he's just not barreling enough ace highs on the turn, so this is a bad turn check. Easy call, and river I tank called, which in reality should be like a snap call pretty much. The moment got to me. So I'm at the top of my range. He doesn't have a heap of flushes here. He's repping, like he can value bet an 8 as well. He can still value bet 9s. He can have a bunch of weak jack X. He had the queen 9 suited. I mean, the 10 of clubs plays a tiny factor into him having less flushes, but my point is like a lot of his flush draws is barrel the flop. So even having 2 10s no flush, it's like kind of no club. It's like a really almost an irrelevant suit in that spot. Like if you ran the same spot and then you looked at 10s with a club and 10s with no club, like the EV difference would be like quite marginal. I check here, though I think it's a small C bet. It's a bad check here. Just a range bet for small here. Now fold turn. I mean, you block his turn barrels. What do you mean? I don't think he's on a delay bet 10-9. I don't know how I block his turn barrels. A lot of his turn barrels are barreling the flop. I got lucky that he had a combo that doesn't like betting the flop. So now the chip leader. I thought about shoving this hand. I think I already ran it, but I forgot. Oh shit, no, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, I think I already ran the spot, but I'm going to save it and double check later. Yeah, I just wanted to shove here. I thought shoving was fine. End up calling. I check raise the flop with a naked flush draw here. Not always raising it, but I'm sometimes raising this one. I guess I was like fine with just like raise stacking off us a king for the bounty here. But yeah, I raise, he calls, turns a 9. I check because he has more 9x in his range. And clubs are calling turn barrels anyway. If it was a 9 of spades, maybe you could start doing more barreling. River is a flush. Unsure on my sizing here. I picked the half pot because I will have a lot of... I should take this line, I guess, with like some king X as well. But yeah, unsure. Could be a bad sizing here. Get the fold. On the river, are you considering suboptimal smaller sizings compared to chip EV to get called more often to take over the chip lead? I'm not thinking about taking over the chip lead. I'm just thinking about playing my hand the best way it should be played. It's not about small betting to get called by more hands. It's just like picking the correct size that makes sense on my overall range. If that makes sense. Esparza won. What a boring fight that was. Every time I looked over. So yeah, I'm just opening a lot of suited hands now with the chip lead. Small bet, get raised, so... I feel like the block or the all-in there would be a good size. I don't like the all-in because I think he folds too much. But it could be best, like the overbet might be best with some flushes. Yeah, I don't really... I think there's so many folds there as well. Like, again, that's a spot where I'm just maybe deviating away from GTO, but I don't know if there's many overbet sizes there. It's a weird hand. Run it for me, let me know. Defend everything, so not gonna continue with a gutter, no spade there. Open, take it down. 7-6 also should maybe be an open here. Really close. Folding is certainly fine. Not drinking vodka, it's just water. I get 7-4 of hearts again? Or was it 7-3? I think it was 7-3. Check call. Check on the turn. I don't ever lead this card. He checks. River pairs. I'm just going to go for a small bet here, blocking all of his calls. And he looks me up with actually a pretty good hand, blocking all of... He doesn't block the spades here, and... I guess having a club would be better for him because I'm going to like clubs here, but not a bad hand to continue to see, in my opinion. Open shove. You have to pay for the HBO or for the fights. No, not when it's on ESPN, you don't need to pay. If it's a pay-per-view, yes, but I mean, you can just like watch a league with streams regardless. I already have a membership on, what's it called? On UFC Fight Pass, like I bought a 6-month membership, so the pay-per-views are like really cheap for me there as well. So we're three-handed now. A very good player, very good player. I have this like one note for this hand. I was showing chat how to note players. But yeah, two very good players. Apparently a stable owner or some shit, and this guy's a sicko. So pretty fun hand here with the 3 deuce, check back standard, a call flop, check turn. I don't have a value bet. I don't want to start bluffing here. On the river, I think I check the turn with a bunch of king highs. I think small blind still has a bunch of 4x here as well, like 4 deuce, 4 5, queen 5. Sorry, like 4 5, 4 deuce, queen 4. 10-4, just all these hands that don't like calling river bets. So I think I have a bluff now. Obviously, he never folds a king, but the main thing about this hand is that I have a bunch of king x in my range, and that I can also possibly value bet some jack x like this. So yeah, it's operation fold out of 4 in this spot. So I go for the half pot size and get the fold. What hand are we on? Another fucking 100 hands. So I've got to be careful with what I'm raising here because he is the short stack, so the least ISM pressure is on him, but I can still do some raising. It's just not going to be as frequent. Maybe like 20 or 30% of the time here versus him in particular. Dude, Alexander Gustafsson is fighting now at heavyweight. His first time at heavyweight. It's actually pretty interesting. Playing the shove here is my preferred play. Nice. If you want to know why that's a shove, just run it in ICMI so you'll see it printing. Opening pretty much every king on the button here. All offsuit king as well. Yeah, I don't know how to play this spot. Yeah, I think I prefer the c-bet. Not getting check raised is nice, of course, but I think... Yeah, it's close. It is close, so I'm going to save this one. Yeah, he moved to heavyweight. He's chunky. Oh, this hand. Now I remember this hand. So, yeah. Face a 3/4 pot size, easy turn call. What I think about his turn bet here is I don't think he picks a size with a 5. I think when he picks a size, he's at least got a 6 or a 9 he's repping, or a bunch of draws. The river's a 5, he checks, and I think we're just beating a lot of his 6x. Like I said, I still think he picks the same size with all of his 6s on the turn, and we have our best 6 pretty much here. So yeah, I'm betting because I think he still calls with every other 6 that bets a turn. I don't think he has a 5. And I also don't think he pot controls a 9. I don't think he checks a 9 that much on a river. I think population is always value bet a 9 here, and don't expect me to like find enough value bets. I did find a value bet here. Could be just a weird leveling thing I'm doing to myself right now, but I do think very few 9x is checking on that river. So yeah, I'm going for the value bet. And surprisingly, he has 8s here, which I was shocked didn't just shove a pre-flop. Not too sure about that call pre, but yeah. My only guess would be that my range is like so wide that maybe it's cool to like play the call there. And like have more flops of check raise. That's my only guess, but not a fan of the call pre. And play the check now. He's getting a little bit closer to me. Easy float here. And we have an easy turn barrel. I don't know if my size needs to be any more than half pot here. I go for like the 60 it looks like though. I'm not too sure about the sizing. Small might be fine here as well. Definitely betting though, just not totally sure about the sizing. Not opening that. The 8-10 was confusing. I think I explained it pretty well. I think his flat pre is not good, and I think my value bet is fine. Check, check. Fold turn. So nerd guy lost the pot. Limp, check. Easy turn check here. Here's a bunch of 6x still. River value bets, not sure where they come from. It could be best to check here. No, he's not going to start bluffing river enough, so I think value bet looks for him to call with ace highs on some river 4x. Yeah, bad check, bad check. Open, check back this really weak ace, try and take it to showdown, fold the turn. I don't continue their chat, don't worry. I changed the camera view because I was going full screen today, so why not bring out the green screen. Limp, 3xer, call, small c bet from me, call, and we're looking to get stacks in now. I don't need to go huge here. I mean, I can go like 60-60, 40-80, both are fine. I go for the 60 and he folds. I have a limp call here. Don't like limp shoving. Don't like betting the flop, just take it to showdown. And this is a funny one facing the bet for a big size. I got some better hands. I got a bunch of ace high and king high with a heart that calls. I have like jack 10. I don't have any queen x with a heart. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I probably have better hands to call with here. I guess in my mind I'm thinking he bets the turn so much with his hearts as I'm calling. So like he's barreling 8-9 with a heart on the turn. He's barreling 10-9, 10-8 with a heart. That's my reasoning. So the flushes he has are going to be like the ace of hearts, the king of hearts. And like maybe, I mean, jack of hearts is barreling a bunch as well. So he's repping the ace of hearts and the king of hearts here. Hence the big sizing from him. So yeah, his polar size makes a lot of sense here. So yeah, I'm not sure how much I want to call this, but I'll have to bluff catch against his like, just like, yeah, like 10-9, no heart, Jack 8, Jack 10, no heart will be his bluff. So maybe still fine call from me here. Yeah, he gets value. At first I thought it was thin, but it seems fine. Yeah, I don't know. I am going to play like the 10 of hearts and the jack of hearts the same way though, with like my high cards, right? But like also like my jack 10 is barreling, so I'm limited to like king 10 and ace 10. So it's probably fine from both of us there, really. Just limp. Gotta be careful what I limp. There's less antes in the middle, but he shouldn't be going bananas versus me. I don't have to bet the flop as well. I have no equity. Just check giving up is fine in this board. I can double delay bluff though. Check fold. Man, I don't know. First fight at heavy. He's got a gut now, doesn't he? So, yeah, fold the 10-7-0 there. Okay, I'm just going to keep that muted, play music, and yeah. Keep an eye on it. Not defending. I like the limp shove here versus big blind because he's going to do more raising versus me here, the shallower I get. So that's what I was planning. He does check back, however. I'm going to check the monotone to play check calls. Don't think I need to start putting money in on the turn. Check, check. And yeah, I guess I just lose now. So. Queen is sort of too wide, not going to open that. Check, check. Flop a straight. Play the raise here. Calling might be better though. I don't have a heap of hands I want to raise, you know. Like in real time I was like, oh, I'm going to raise like 9x of spades, some king x, but that's not enough raises, I don't think. I'm going to have so much like weak 10x and jack x that he can try and make me fold, so I think a call is way better here. Luckily I get one street out of him, like he calls the raise, I bet the turn, he folds. Wow, Verdum is trying to get that arm. Bet the queen, queen 6. Again, could be over barreling this spot. Check, check. Hit a pair. Value bet this pair. Yeah, I don't mind this value bet. I can also do this with like 8-9 and 10-9 as bluffs. Oh my god, he's going to get the arm. Oh. Dude, he took forever to separate that arm. Like, he tapped right away. Whatever. He was $3.50? Wow. It's crazy to give him $3.50 because like it's Gustafson's first fight at heavyweight as well, so it's like new territory for him. That's crazy. Anyway, we're heads up now. I guess let's just view that last hand. So fold, shove, ace deuce, call ace 4. Yep. Now we got some heads up play where I made a lot of mistakes, I am sure. Fold the 5 deuce. Open, defend, small c-bet, call the check raise with my backdoors, brick on the turn, fold on this turn where his straights get there, I think is fine. Defend the jack 9 suited and just check fold flop. Open the ace-3 and can mix bet and check here. Check that this time. Call the turn. And hopefully win on the river. Do not. Bad start. Defend the king-9. Check, check. Start putting money in the middle. Go for the big bet. Go for the big bet. Not sure if the sizing's any good, but I mean, if I want to start bluffing a 10 here, I'm going to pick the big size. Don't need much protection with a 9 though as backup, so I'm not too sure about it. Open the queen 10, get a fold. Limp, check. Gonna check raise with my uncapped range here. I mean, not that I'm not defending 7-5, but he's gonna raise more 7-5 than he is gonna limp it, I think. So yeah, I'm gonna check raise. He's also gonna raise like more king 7, king 5 than he is gonna limp it. Queen jack open. I check this back. So my reasoning is that I'm just gonna fight out a bunch of queen x and jack x I dominate. I'm gonna get it in dead versus ace highs and king highs. So I like the check back. And don't mind delay betting turn now to put his ace highs and king highs in a dumb spot. I checked twice though to look to go for the double delay, perhaps. Not a huge fan of it. Double delay is what I do. When I do this, I'm representing, like, yeah, not enough value is my concern. I should just bet turn in river there. Defend the 6-4 offsuit. I'm not sure if this is even a defend. It's definitely the bottom. I don't really like continuing on this monotone. For a small size, I have to continue once. But it's kind of annoying in general facing any bet there because I can't. I'm folding turn there. See bet the backdoors seems preferred here. Check it though. Not a. I mean, I guess I can see bet ace 5 check ace 4. Like, am I betting ace 6 and ace 3 here as much as ace 4 and ace 5? Not too sure. Going to delay bet the turn. And in real time, I was like, wow, this is a mistake. I don't want to bet all my ace sides here. He's still got like heaps 7x, so yeah, mistake was made there. I should bet the flop or check twice. 3 is just going to shove here. Oh, so he limped. I didn't want to have a jamming range for 28 big blinds, so I checked it. Flop a set. Check raise, standard so far. Turn is a queen. I go for the big size, looking to get money in here. I actually don't like this size at all. It's a double flush draw board where he still has a bunch of 10x. This is a really bad size. I should just like go really big instead of going for a 5100. Somehow I get us a fold there, very surprising. Maybe at like a weak 9 that couldn't continue. Open the 4 deuce, small bet. And check the turn here. Don't need to bet this one, maybe some king highs. I'll check the turn. And I win a bunch. Lose to king 4. Ace 4, can probably do a bit of 3 betting here of 30. Not entirely sure though, so I've just been playing calls. So when he checks, he's got showdown value. Kind of annoying with these spots. But he also can delay bet like some weak equity. Like he can delay bet queen 3, queen 4. So definitely calling turn. But for the most part has some showdown value. He had ace 4 clubs. I was a little bit surprised to see that. But he's just building a pot in position with a lot of equity. Where he maybe thinks that I don't always barrel all my like king x of clubs there. Limp check. I guess we start putting money in the middle now. Maybe worth a check. Maybe delay bet. He's spending so much though. I like the bet more. Min, see bet. I don't know if I want to float with only having one overcard to the 5 because he can check raise 5x here. Really close, so it could be a continue. Unsure about that one. But my main reasoning is not having 2 overs to a 5. Defend seems like a fine check call with queen high. Beat jack high. Please react to Negreanu's new video about... Sorry, Doug Polk's new video about Negreanu. I guess he did it on his main channel that isn't poker related. Look forward to that. I will after. Defend, check, fold. Bet flop is fine. Do I want to always barrel the gutter on the turn here? That was my main concern. Do I want to barrel just a gutter here? Got an overcard to a jack as well, which is nice, but I didn't think I did. I thought I had better hands to barrel like 9-7 and 5-7 and flush draws and 10-9. So I checked and followed a river. And 10-8-0, limp, check call the gutter. Turn a straight, check call, never raising, and check shoving river. If you got king 10, nice hand, mate. I did talk about how people like might even fold 2-pair all the time there, so I'm just value owning myself, but yeah. Bet the gutter, get the call. He snap checked this turn, and I thought he was going to do some leading with the turn here. So yeah, he has more 9x than me, so when he snap checks, I felt like it was a good spot to bluff, so I just big bet and took it down. King 9 defend, check call the gutter, check. Not bluffing, I got showdown value, but I did bluff. I guess I should try and fold out a 6, but I don't think that is good enough. Probably over bluffing there. I should just fold that one instead of like fast forwarding it. Defend. Not check raising, although I'm not sure. Maybe it's okay. A lot of overcards. Check raising might not be the worst here, but I'm not sure if I want to do much check raising on ace high. Side fold turn. I'm blocking the draws though. It could be always a continue. I just don't want to be put in a weird river spot. Open C bet. Big bet turn, nice. Yeah, Militis, I won't be playing live poker. I don't like playing live, it bores me, so I'm gonna pass on the 10-20 offer, but thank you. The bounties, we're actually playing for 24,000 heads up. We're not playing for double this. It just displays the full bounty. So yeah, it's only a 24k heads up match, not a $48,000 heads up match. Open C bet. He calls. I just give up here. No equity. Defend, check call. Check call the turn. River is... I thought about check shoving here with Jack 10. But I thought it was going to be more relevant if I had the Jack of Diamonds because he has more... I block more of his flushes. He's not big betting the turn with 10x of Diamonds. So that was my issue with this spot. I folded, but I considered shoving and I also considered calling. Yeah, I'm really not sure what the best play is here. But it was a side tank fold there, I'm pretty sure. Spoiler, I did not win this tournament. Raise folding 7-6 like that, I don't want to call 3-bet. Easy check, call, check, check. And do I have a value bet on this river? Yeah, maybe. I got some 7, 8, 8, 9. Yeah, not too sure. He also, yeah, maybe. He has enough 10x to call off here and like worse Queen X. Yeah, I think I have a value bet. Bad check. Aces raise, C bet. for half pot on the connected board. Check, check, turn. Can go either way on this turn, though. River, he bet. I'm not going to shove. I'm just value owning myself, in my opinion. Don't get called by worse enough at the time. He had a 7. 3 bet, take it down. Raise, fold. Check, call. Check, check. Go to value bet the river. Get called by a queen. Standard play from both of us there. I'm not sure how much he should be actually calling the queen there. Definitely sometimes. Not a queen 9 here. I raise fold the queen 9. I think queen 9 offset is just a little bit too weak. I'm not folding queen 10 off though. I 3-bet the 6-7 suited there. Feel like I wanted to mix him some 3-bets with that hand. And for the 10-4 suited, he keeps 3-betting me when I have like hands I can't really defend. Ace 5, limp. Don't want to always raise it versus a limp. Check. Check. Not sure what I do on this turn. I guess he has enough 6x that doesn't want to barrel the flop. Yeah, I think I have a continue because I can still river like top 2. Oh, I can river an ace. Sorry, not top 2. Yeah. Oh, definitely a close one though. I don't even think check raising would be that bad, blocking the 2-pair combos. Fucking hell, am I like out of frame here, mate? Defend. So I didn't want to check raise this hand because there are too many bad turn cards of this SPR, so it's a check calling spot. Turn, I don't play leads with this hand. I do play some leads in general though, just not with this hand. Check, check, and I want to value bet the river here. I don't think he bluffs it enough, and I think I turn enough 7x into a bluff still. So I do big bet the river. Like medium better, I could go even larger here. And he calls the day side, which is totally standard. And here is the hand that was the most controversial, and I'm going to explain my thought process in real time, and I'm going to explain why it was a bad thought process. So I c-bet ace 7 of spades here for small, very standard. I get the check raise. I'm just going to play the call with the nut flush draw here. I don't think I need to just put money in here when he still has a bunch of 2 pairs and straights. Like, he's not pure 3-betting king jack. He still has 100% of jack 8, a lot of king jack. He has all these 2 pairs still. So I call, and the turn is a brick, and we're still very deep. It's more than a 2 SPR. And he picks a half pot sizing here. And with this sizing, I felt like in real time, I thought that he was going to pick a larger sizing with vulnerable 2 pairs, like 10-9 and queen 9. I thought he was picking a larger sizing. So in my mind, I thought he still had, like, for this sizing, jack x of spades and queen jack, king jack, and jack 8. I thought this was like a very jack x heavy like sizing in a turn. I thought he was going to go for like a much larger size with a vulnerable 2 pair, 10-9, queen 9. So I call. I also don't think there are many flush draws he's check raising this flop with. I think he's just mainly playing. You don't want to check raise like a naked flush with like 5-6 of spades here, for example. So yeah. And I'm also blocking his 7-8 of spades right now. So I just level myself into his turn sizing being more jack X heavy. Yeah, I basically just like really level myself into thinking he's so jack X heavy here. When in reality, like, I'm just not bluffing enough 1 pairs in the spot. I'm checking back a bunch of queen X still here. So like he's not trapping enough jack X. Like, I just thought that I had enough flush draws that bluffed this river that he was going to trap, and yeah, I just leveled myself into the turn sizing, which was the mistake in this hand. So I tank checked. I actually had like a 5-second time bank, and I didn't have enough time to really think about it, and I was just like, nah, I'm not good enough at the time here. And I think another thought going through my head was that I was going to jam the turn a lot for protection, with two pairs, which are just doing more three betting the flop. So it was just a completely fucked hand all round, and he got there with the eight of spades. I mean, I'm surprised this raise still. I didn't think this was going to be like that heavy a raise, but it's like the worst. It's like the worst flush draw he will raise in the spot. So moving on to the next hand, not defending 9 deuce O. Fives, we're just gonna raise stack, see bet, flop. He raises. I think I either continue here. It's closer. I'm unaware of how much 7x you're allowed to check raise in this flop though. So I continue with a pair. Check. To me, I bet small because I need a little bit of protection. And river I check, and he has a queen, so might be overplaying this spot. Not too sure about that one. I don't want to give advice to something I don't know. Jack's here, raise it up. Limping for 20 with a Jack 9-0 here, betting, calling. I only have a gutter, like I said, I got a lot of better hands to double barrel here. I do have a slight range advantage though, so it could be a fine barrel. Could also be a total punt this one. I potter, he shoves on me. I fold. Could be a bad hand to select. 5 deuce, I raise. I'm going to do a bit of raising with this hand versus limps. Raise, fold the king 5. Check the 10 deuce. Check fold. Limp the queen deuce, bat. Get to see a flop here with a 9-3. Just gonna check folder. Don't want to play leads here. I got a weak hand. I got a lot of better hands to bet here. Just gonna check folder. Oh mate. Sorry, bro. Shovels are fucked. 10-6, limping, seeing a flop, betting, getting away with it. 8-3, limp, check. Gonna check razor, goes check, check, not betting this turn. Check calling it, however, and on the river, praying he checks. He does, and it's a reasonable check. He said his worst queen on a flush completer, not too bad. I'm not too sure about that one. Seems fine. Till or Whitaker? No clue. Whitaker got fucked up in his last fight. I mean, it's going to be a war. I think it's going to be a war. I mean, Till fought very smart against Kelvin, but yeah, I think it's going to be a war. I imagine Whitaker's a favourite, and he should be, I think, just because, you know, he is a proven middleweight, whereas Till isn't really a proven middleweight just yet. And yeah, Whitaker just has more accomplishments as well, so hopefully Till wins. I like him more. Just a funny dude. I like his story. I love the comeback story so much more. And I know you can argue the comeback story from Whitaker against Izzy, but like Till got knocked the fuck out by George. Then he comes back with a really impressive technical performance against Kelvin. Gets a unanimous decision. And yeah, if he can knock out Whitaker, he solidifies himself as like the next contender against Izzy after Paulo Costa. So yeah, I just love the comeback stories. They're so motivating. And yeah, although Whitaker did get finished by, what's his name? Izzy? Like, Till got knocked the fuck out, was depressed for a bit. Like, I'm a big Till fan. Played the shove here versus a limp. And he was trapping. I luckily got lucky. Chat. How about that? I like these offsuit kings as raises. Call the check raise, check on the turn, standard from this hand. I could maybe do some betting on the turn, he could call some queen X. River goes check, I'm not value betting this flush. He has king 4. Not going well. Ace queen, he shoves, I call. I turn an ace, win the flip. Chipping up again. Jack 9, Playing the open for 24, face a 3-bet. And again, I have another hand that just barely, like 1 pip below, can't call a 3-bet. He's had like every 3-bet get through me, and I've just had like the 1 pip below. Limp pot. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure how to play this because like I can check raise because there's a lot of draws out there, but the SPR is like, I mean it's a limp pot though, so SPR is like 9 right now. So yeah, check raising does make most sense for me here. A lot of hands I can get value from. On this turn card, so yeah, this is cool. This is cool. So the reason I check in this spot, and I do check from memory, I check because the spades brick. So like his backdoors, like 8, 9, queen jack of spades are all folding now. He doesn't have a heap of 3x that is limp bet calling, apart from like 6-3 suited. 6-3 O is usually folding pre-flop. Ace-3 is usually finding checkbacks here. And 6-7 is already beating me, so I just have very few hands that call me in this turn, which is why I play the check. The problem is in this spot is like my bluffs love betting this turn. You know, like I have 6-7 here, so does he of course, but my bluffs like betting this turn. But I guess I'm going to check some like 3-6 myself in this spot. Like I'm not barreling this turn with queen 9. I guess I'm barreling it with like queen 6, jack 6 suited. But yeah, I checked it for those reasons though. It's tough to find too many calls from him. And I also think a lot of his flush draws are finding flop jams. But I could be wrong with that. So I check, and then I bet small on this river. I'm not sure if blocking is really a thing on this river. But yeah, I'm not too sure about it. Checking might be best because he still value bets all of his queen X. Yeah, he folds. That was pretty weird hands for sure, but a fun one. Folding. Defend, not continuing here. We're almost there, chat. Open the 9-7, bet and pray. And fun spot. So the reason I pot this turn, or like big bet this turn, is because I did raise pre, so he doesn't defend every queen for a raise pre. That was like my main reason. I want to have some like punts here as well. It's not great holding a club, of course, because we wanted to have more. We wanted to have the 9 of clubs here. 9x of clubs. Luckily, I'm not holding any hearts, which is pretty decent. But yeah, okay. Occasionally, we just want to bomb this one. King 9 defends. Check call. Goes check. I have a clear value bet now. Blocking turn 2 pairs. Go for the big bet. Nice sizing. Could even go larger. And on the river, clear value bet. Get it through. He calls with 7-9. Totally standard. I like the ISO here. And again, another hand, I haven't called a single one of his 3-bets, and I keep getting just the hands, these offsuit hands that don't play well as call as there. Check fold. Might be a mistake check folding the double gutter there. Or like the double backdoor gutter, if that's a thing. Check raise. A lot of my gutters and open-enders here. 9-6, raise, see a flop, small bet for like a big blind, get it through. 8's just gonna 3-bet stack here, nice. Ace queen, raise, defend, small bet. I'm not sure how much checking I do here, but I like to bet it a bunch. If I had ace queen of spades, I'm not sure if I'm betting it. Check the turn, find some river calls. He value bets a 6, I believe. But I think he's enough like 7, 8, 8, 9, jack 9, jack 8. Well, jack 8 folds, right? Yeah, so. Threes here, just going to shove over the open. Standard. Had he limped, I would check it. Queen 8, going to open it. Another hand I can't call a 3-bet with. It's like so silly. should just start limping those hands. I know he's gonna 3-bet me. And queen 5 will be the worst queen I defend, I think. Not sure if I like the check raise for the bigs. Oh, that's right. That's right. So, man, I should go back and try and find the 7-4 deuce suited flop. But yeah, I remember I was like, I was talking out loud as well, and I was saying, like on this board, he went for a half pot sizing on this exact same board, like 7-4 deuce 2 suit. And and then he sized up the next time on the same board, and I was like, what the fuck? Why are you sizing up here? Is that like a bit of a tell that you just like weaker or what? Like out of all these hands you finally size up now, I was a bit confused. So I decided to use my hand as a raise. He called, and I could even go a little bit smaller to raise, like 3.8 is, that's fine, whatever. Turn is an 8, I quickly check, but I think I'm allowed to do a lot of small betting here because I have side 5-6 obviously. I have 8-6, 8, some 8-5 suited, some 8-9. So yeah, I could do some small betting on this turn. I do check, he checks, I then river a 5, and I think I have enough showdown value here. I actually went over the same hand with Patrick, and he thinks I should bluff this river. And I don't think, the more I look at it, I don't think I should bluff this river because I think he checks back enough flush draws. I think he has enough 7x and 8x still that play checkbacks, and I'm just beating a 4 a bunch of the time. So yeah, I don't know, apart from him checking a 7 and an 8, which is unlikely, I just don't really know what I'm folding out. Like in the 7s he will check will be like 7-5, 7-6, you know, 7s that don't need protection. So that's why I checked it here. He had, the hand did not show you. I'll go back. I'm pretty sure he had ace 7. Jack 7. Weird hand, that one. 9-4, 17 bigs, limp fold. 4-3 offsuit, check the limp, check fold. I like the open shove here. King, I'm going to raise this one. 3x, he calls. I made a bad check. I think I should just range bet for small in this spot. So now I'm check calling in a kind of confusing spot. I check on this turn. He checks. River's a 10. Not the best river. It's really good for him. Pretty easy river fold. But I think flopper should be betting. Deuce 9. Just not going to open a limper. Aces. He limps, I check it. I don't want to do too much raising for 10 here. So it goes check. I raise it because I think we both have enough draws here. I think it's a fine... Oh wait, no, I don't raise it. Okay. I guess I want to raise that short, but I don't think I think 2.5xing is fine here as well. But yeah, I guess like he's going to barrel a lot in this spot. He checks the turn and on the river... I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm just hoping he calls a 9 here, which is likely value betting turn. But I don't know how much betting I'm allowed here because I don't value bet a 6 here too often, you know? And he still value bets a bunch of Jack X on the river. I could have some like air balls I bet here. So I think checking is actually better in this spot. The more I think about it. I big bet. He folds. The big bet makes sense though, but like my 7-8 raises flop a bunch. So I don't really have that many draws that aren't just raising. 4-3. Check fold. Jack 5. Fold, limp fold. 6-3, limp, check. Check fold. King 10 offsuit, shove, get it through. 5s, shove versus the limp. Shove. Ten 6 check and check call because we're so short. Goes check, check. I like big betting to get value from queen 8, queen jack, queen 9, like 9-3, 9-4. That doesn't want to bet. So I like a big bet here. Go for like a half pot size there. Jack 3, a limp folder. Queen Jack, call the jam for 11 big blinds. Get very lucky. I'm surviving. The last hand is funny though for sure. Good spot to barrel. I like the sizing on a pretty wet board there. Pick up 6-7 offsuit check. I like a check raise. I like a turn barrel if I check this. This is very bad. Nice. And I think following from the river is not awful. He has enough ace highs still. So I think I should fully throw in this one. I make a bitch check and check fold the river. And last hand of the tournament. Let's pay attention. I raise, he defends. And I think my error with this flop is my big size. So like, okay, it's like a 60%. It's not even that big. It could be fine to bet that size, but I think on this board, it's just mainly small betting. I mean, you are going to have a big part of, like a big size of your range, and this will be that hand. I think kings, no club, I'm blocking top pairs. And, you know, big size, a lot of 10x, and I'll big size some backdoor heart combos. So yeah, hit him with a big size. He just plays a shove on me for like 19 big blinds post flop. And yeah, I don't know, right? Does he shove enough worse hands? Like folding kings here seems fucking ridiculous, but is he really just going to shove a queen 10? Is he shoving a single queen here? Unlikely. He might just shove like, I guess he can shove all of his 10x of clubs for sure. 10 deuce of clubs, 10 3 of clubs, will just shove. But you don't really see a shove too often here is my point. That's the weird part. But if you are going to have a shoving range, like 10x of clubs would make sense. Jack 9 would make sense. But yeah. I call pretty quickly, but like at the end, I'm just never folding the spot. He has a surprising king 10 of clubs here. So it could be like an exploit on his end, just thinking that I always have a value with that flop sizing and that he can just shove on me. I'm blocking my calling range. My overall match is 100%, but the only reason it's 100% is because I didn't view it in active mode. I just reviewed the whole tournament without, you know, acting on my end. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed that tournament review. YouTube, I hope you enjoyed it. It was like a 1.5 hour, 2 hour recording. I have all of my tournament wins or tournament deep runs on CheckDecide on my profile. You can view them all completely for free. If you don't want to miss any future hands, follow me on CheckDecide. It takes 10 seconds to create an account, completely free. And yeah, all of the hands I upload will be in your notified following list. So yeah, I upload single hands and tournaments, all completely free for you guys. And there's going to be a lot more cool things you can implement in the future for CheckDecide. And just to show you how easy it is to upload a hand on CheckDecide, I'm going to load up a random hand here. I'm going to copy paste the hand history. Right, simple as this. I'm then going to click snap in the top right here. And it uploads the hands in a few seconds. You also have the option of keeping it private or public, so and you can also just share it to your friends. You can leave notes on the hands as well, send it to a coach. It's just gonna like really fast forward coaching and save you a bunch of time. So again, guys, thank you for watching. Links down below to CheckDecide. Hit the thumbs up button, and I've noticed that 68% of you guys who watch my videos aren't subscribed, so take this moment to subscribe. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.
I don't do handshakes, people.